We'll be live.
We'll be live. Look who else is live.
Hello. Yes, we're here with Harris and Veedu. This is amazing.
Why?
Yeah.
Why should? Why is poor Veedu sitting beneath us? Shouldn't it be equal like this? What do you reckon? Now we're all on equal footing. But now why am I in the middle? I'm not the center of the attention.
Okay. Yeah. Why are you in the center?
Yeah, exactly, man. Why you got to be in the middle? Oh, because hang on. Put him in the middle. Put Harris back in the middle. Because remember, it's left, center, and then right. That's the format that we're going with.
That's good.
Yeah. Far left.
This is the political spectrum. This is the political spectrum.
I've never been amazing.
But Armin, what's that? What's this thing? How you wrote the secular jihadists in the top left corner?
What?
Yeah, like on the top left corner of our screen, it's the secular jihadists. Yeah. So I mean, we should have the left, center, right.
Yes.
I mean, obviously, you're not far left nor you're far right. I mean, you're just slightly leaning towards right, and you're slightly.
So you got Antifa on one side, and then you got Viktor Orban's Hungary on one side, and then Aris is trying to negotiate the middle. Okay.
Yeah, that's
I have to remove that subscribe thing from the overlay because it's just blocking the name. That's why I do it like this, so it doesn't block any of our names. You see that subscribe thing?
Oh, I see.
Well, we can. You can just take that thing off.
It's connected to the thing. Well, I will make another one.
I'll take it off. I'll take it off. There you go.
Yeah. Okay.
How's that? Is that all right?
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I'll make another one for our future videos. I'll put it on the top right. Yeah. Well, okay, guys. Do you guys want to talk about Imran Khan being shot? Because we have a question related to that as well.
Yeah. So
Aris, go for it.
Yeah. There's loads to talk about. So last week I was going to talk about what actually happened to this renowned Pakistani investigative journalist Ashar Sharif, but then I think I let it go and I said that I'll do it in my own solo show, which I did. So let me recap the whole thing. So I might need 5-10 minutes for you guys to understand. So first of all, Imran Khan, as you know, came to power back in 2018 with the aid of Pakistani military, or so it's said, or it's a common belief, and probably it's true as well, because all the general elections in Pakistan, they are somehow engineered by the Pakistani military. And we have a long history of that. So as Hillary Clinton said, what they meant by the deep state, Pakistan is the picture-perfect example of that. We hear about all these conspiracy theories that CIA is doing this, or like these secret societies in America or England doing that. No, that is not as active as it is in the case of Pakistan. And in the case of Pakistan, that is Pakistani military. So 2018, Imran Khan fell in good books of the Pakistani establishment, as we like to call it. And the elections were engineered and he came to power. Imran Khan kept saying the Pakistani establishment and the military and his government are on the same page, proverbially speaking, which meant that they're both together in everything. So obviously, the opposition, Nawaz Sharif's party and late Benazir Bhutto's party, now run by Zardari, they kept saying that, okay, well, this honeymoon is going to turn into a nasty divorce at one stage. And lo and behold, that's what happened back in April 2022. That's when Imran Khan was ousted under a constitutional process of no confidence motion that was put forth in the parliament by all the opposition parties in Pakistani General Assembly or Pakistani Parliament, and they ousted Imran Khan. Imran Khan was kicked out reluctantly, and when he came out, he started saying that United States concocted this regime change operation. So he's been, ever since then, he's been accusing the United States government for doing that. There might be some truth in that, but not necessarily to the extent that Imran Khan is accusing. And obviously, they quote all the past CIA operations and the toppling of regimes, etc., all around the world. American history is rich with that. So what happened on the eve of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, Imran Khan naively ended up in Moscow. And then later on, he said, look, I didn't know that's what Putin was going to do. But he was there on the eve of the invasion. The United States did not like it. The United States wanted Pakistan to condemn that attack. Imran Khan didn't condemn it, and a couple of weeks later he was ousted. So Imran Khan says that is one of the reasons why they did it, but obviously there were some other reasons behind that as well. So Imran Khan has been doing this agitation politics ever since, and now he turned on his previous masters, Pakistani military, the same General Bajwa, who's the army chief of Pakistan. Now, this is the first time in the history of Pakistan, first time ever, no political leader has ever stood up to the Pakistani establishment the way Imran Khan has. And Imran Khan has been, Imran Khan is light years ahead in the social media game than his opposition competitors. So they have been abusing the military, they've been abusing the Pakistani army chief, calling him a traitor and all of that, so much so that military got really agitated. Now, Imran Khan has since... so Imran Khan realized that... Oh, sorry, what's that? So Imran Khan has...
oh, sorry, you had that audio?
Yes.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
So Imran Khan has this... he organized this long march, and he's marching towards Islamabad and with only one agenda. He's asking the government to resign and announce early elections. By the way, elections are not due until July next year. So Imran Khan knows he's at the peak of his popularity. So if the elections were held today, he would win not by just 2/3 majority, but but he'd win 60% of the votes, which is what he needs to make a popular majority. So that's where we're at. So Imran Khan has been doing this agitation politics. He's been accusing the Pakistani military explicitly of working in cahoots with the United States establishment or CIA or the United States government, overthrowing the Pakistani elected government, etc., etc. There was one journalist, Arshad Sharif, a couple of weeks ago now, he was brutally murdered in Kenya. Now, what was he doing in Kenya? He was in Pakistan, and he had to flee Pakistan because he had been getting some death threats, possibly by ISI, I'm just reporting what they've said. I don't know how true that is. But obviously, he was running for his life. So he went to the UAE, and then a couple of months later, his visa expired. Then he fled to Kenya. And he kept it undercover. Nobody knew. Well, obviously, some people found out. And then he was killed by the Kenyan police, by the Kenyan death squad, who are known. Al Jazeera has made a documentary on that, by a known corrupt Kenyan police who are known for taking out, these assassination hits, etc. So they said that while it was a case of mistaken identity, we thought he was some guy who had stolen the similar looking car and had kidnapped a child. So we had a roadblock there, and we told them to stop, but they didn't stop. So we opened fire, and boom, we killed Arshad Sharif. And then they changed their story, because obviously, if you think that there's a kid in a car, stolen car, why would you shoot at a car? Wouldn't you kill the kid as well? And the way they've shown the car, it seems like they were whoever the shooter was or shooters were, they were all targeting the passenger instead of the driver. And driver apparently survived, and he drove for like 40-50 kilometers or so back to his farmhouse, and that's where he called the police, and they came, and that's how the world knew of Arshad Sharif getting killed. Now, Arshad Sharif used to be a pro-military journalist, but then when this regime change operation happened, he became anti-military, and he had been just turning up the heat on the Pakistani military chief, General Bajwa. So all of this happened. Everyone, like every Imran Khan supporter, has been now, they're just accusing openly ISI, Pakistan Army, of killing this investigative journalist. And Imran Khan has been using that as well. And then, as I said, because his long march, and then he announced this long march because he said that, okay, well, now is the time to gain more influence or gain more traction to his movement. And then as he was marching towards Islamabad, some guy came and shot at him. One person tried to stop him. He got shot point blank in the face, and he died. We can see the video. The other person held held his hand, and like there was some few fires in the air, and then apparently, this is the official account, that one of those bullets hit Imran Khan on his leg. Now, Imran Khan is saying that's not true. That guy was a fall guy. He only had a little pistol, and where at the distance where Imran Khan was and the way it hit his leg, there was this big metal sheet in front of him, so it could not have penetrated through him. So the guys on Imran Khan's container, so they put a container on at the back of a truck, and then that's where they stand. It's pretty makeshift.
All right, but the Patreon question also wants to know what would happen if he was killed. What do you think would happen?
Well, I'll come to that. So I want to explain.
But do it faster because we need to get to the other questions.
Yeah, I know that. We hang on. We're just 10 minutes into it, so people need to know what the whole story is. Veedu, don't you want to know? I think you want to know. Yes, he wants to know. Okay, so Imran Khan's people have been saying that we saw a couple of other snipers on rooftops as well. So that was definitely not one guy. Now, this guy, he was arrested, and contrary to the normal procedures, his video, his confessional statements was released by someone in Punjab police, and he said, "Look, I only shot at him because Imran Khan has made some blasphemous statements, and on my channel, I've discussed it a couple of times before that because he's an idiot when it comes to religion. He just makes these half-assed statements. He said previously that if you don't vote for me, you're doing kufr. Or this is shirk. Yeah, he said this is shirk because these guys are corrupt and they're demigods. So if you vote for them, then this is shirk. So he said he's made some pretty idiotic statements in the past. And by the way, when the French cartoon saga happened, there was a brutal crackdown on TLP. Those guys who were saying expel the French ambassador back. Yeah. So there were widespread protests across Pakistan, and Pakistani government at that time used pretty heavy force, and they killed around 150 people. Now, those people belong to TLP, Tehreek-e-Labbaik movement. So those of you who know, you can Google it. It's a very hardline group. I often talk about that group, that if there's any group that can take over Pakistan, that's that. So it seems like this guy belongs to that group, but he also seems like it's not a Lee Harvey Oswald kind of thing. It does look like that there were some other people involved in this. And now Imran Khan got hit on the leg, and he said, well, this is it. Funnily enough, Imran Khan just did a press conference. He said in September, he actually made a speech. He said, I've been told that there are 4 people who are plotting to assassinate him, and when he's killed, they would say that some religious fanatic killed him because he thought Imran Khan had committed blasphemy. So, his prediction turned out to be very almost true, with the exception that
it's a political motivation disguised as a religious motivation.
Well, that's what he claims.
And it seems like he's right.
Look, to be honest, it looks pretty bad. We don't know, but it looks pretty bad. As I said, that's the reason why I told you about Ashar Sharif and the journalist. He got killed. He was the biggest anti-military journalist, and now Imran Khan is the biggest anti-military, yet the most popular leader in Pakistan's history at the moment. So what would have happened? I reckon Pakistani military actually dodged the bullet, because had he died, it would have been really, really bad. I want to show some.
You think there would be a second attempt or third?
Well, look. I mean, if these guys are any, if they have half a brain, then they would know that they've just dodged a bullet. Look, let me show you what's happening on the streets of Pakistan. There are mass scale. I'm trying to show it. So there are mass scale protests. People are coming out. People are so emotional over it. Look at this woman, and this is just the police. Whoa. But we've seen tanks rolling in. People are so angry. I'll show you the tanks one.
That's a brave woman. She's just charging at a guy.
Yeah, she is. But he didn't shoot. Look at this. This is Lahore. There are tanks there. There's so many other places. You can see heavy military presence. And Pakistanis, this is the first time when people are so angry I've never seen it. So I reckon had he died, it would have been really, really bad. No one in the history of Pakistan. Nawaz Sharif has he said something, read between the lines kind of thing. Look at this, and this is the army chief. No one used to, no one dared to, attack the military the way is being attacked. Oh, by the way, there's another guy. This guy, he is a senator of Pakistan, obviously under Imran Khan's party. His press conference came out yesterday as well, and he was crying. Apparently, he was arrested. He was molested, abused, and then also while all of this was happening, the Pakistani intelligence, and this is him accusing. He's saying the Pakistani intelligence ISI actually put cameras in his room and recorded him having sex with his wife, and they are circulating the video and they're trying to blackmail him. Have a look. So this is where he cries.
What is that, a blackmail?
Look at this. He's crying. This is a senator, by the way. So all hell's broken loose.
How is that a blackmail? It's his wife.
No, but they're saying that apparently they're saying that no one's seen that video yet because it hasn't come out yet. But apparently they're saying that he is probably having sex with some younger woman. But his daughter has recognized that this is his own house, so they've just put someone else's face on his wife's body. So I don't know, like we haven't seen the body, but it's just embarrassing in a highly conservative country like Pakistan. It's just embarrassing, a sex tape coming out, and obviously they've put these little mini cameras. They've bugged the rooms of senators, and obviously they're all accusing the Pakistani military and ISI behind that.
So the Pakistani military is losing a lot of credibility, like compared to before. It's like because people used to, that was one entity that people used to have high regards for and respected. Like, but now that's like being crushed, right? That the little credibility they used to have. I mean,
well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, in the past, only liberal people like us would say, "Hang on a second, the military has no business in politics. Kick them out." But because, like with these third world countries with the easily indoctrinated, brainwashed people, they're like, yeah, okay, nationalism. Yeah, I'm a nationalist. I love my army. I love my agency. But now one person, the most popular leader, when he's turned on the Pakistani military, now they're saying the same thing. They're like, yeah. Now they're saying everything. Now they're saying the same thing that Indians have been saying for so long. That Pakistani military, why do you take so much pride in the Pakistani military? They haven't won you a single war. They lost in 1948. They lost in 1965. They lost in 1971. They lost in 1999. So why do you take so much pride in this bullshit army? According to the Indian, then there's a lot of truth in that too.
What is it? There's a super chat. I don't understand what the super chat is saying. Oh, can you explain this to us?
So Pakistan was almost outed by India in this. There's a T20 World Cup going on. So Pakistan was down and out because then after India, they lost to Zimbabwe. And then, today was supposed to be Pakistan's last game. But surprisingly, South Africa, as always, they choked again. And they lost to Netherlands, which is nothing cricket team when it comes to cricket. And it's like, Pakistan's like, huh?
We're back in. We're back in.
We're playing the semis? So that's what's happening.
Oh, okay. Well, that's crazy. It's really unsafe to be a politician in Pakistan, eh? You guys keep losing them. Like, I don't know. I think I'm predicting. I don't know if you could. I'm predicting that this is not going to be the last attempt, and maybe there's going to be maybe 2 or 3 attempts.
I want to say one thing. I'm not a fan of Imran Khan since 2020. And I know you spoke with me when I was in April. I think you spoke with me when Imran Khan was ousted, and I explained. And you said, Haris, the way you're telling the story, it feels like you're very heartbroken. And that was true because I used to love him, but then he overplayed his religious card. He started, so I don't like his politics. But then when all of this happened, and then I thought, oh, hang on, he could be killed. And then I was like, hang on a second, that's not fair. But kudos to him. This is why I can dislike him for his politics, but I still like him for his determination. The guy is 1 in a billion, I'd say. I mean, he worked so hard. He stood by his beliefs. He, he's like, okay, now he wants to challenge the military. No one has ever done it. No one. Nawaz Sharif did it just a little bit and then he ran away. This guy has now literally taken bullets for it, and he's not backing down. He's saying, F you, I'm coming after you. He's saying that. I reckon he's gone into the Messiah complex. I think, that's obviously narcissism as well. And people like that, he says that I'm not afraid to die. As a Muslim, I believe the night that is in the grave is not outside of it. I'm like, that's the Messiah complex. Like, Hitler had it too. Like, he's like, I'm sent for this special purpose. Like, I cannot die. I have to do these amazing things before I die. So this is what he believes. He's deluded. He believes that he can't die. And if he does die, then there would be some sort of, God's plan in that too. So he's at the height of his, I don't know, delusion. As well. Yeah. He's at his height of delusion. Yeah.
Do you have like any feelings towards all of this? Like, are you like completely, because I know Harris has a lot of history in Pakistan and all, but I don't know, do you have any feelings about any of this? Are you connected to that community? Yeah.
Not as much as Harris. Obviously, Harris used to live there. But having said that, growing up in a Pakistani household, this is what they binge on news. This news for them is like celebrity gossip for like people who like, like Kim Kardashian, this kind of crap, Kanye. They don't have that. They have politicians getting shot, politicians getting bribed, murdered, journalist, lawyer, whatever it is, and they have become a news-obsessed country. And so to be honest with you, it's kind of weird when you think about the power dynamic. Whereas, if he manages to overcome the military somehow, will he now be almost like a Julius Caesar dictator kind of person, where he's untouchable? Because now he will then get rid of the king, and he will become the king. So although you could get a situation where you have elections that are just, he's now doing the rigging. Maybe he won't even need to be doing the rigging, because it will just be like, oh my God, Imran Khan is untouchable. You can't question him. He's now God. He's now this. He's now that. And he's already in his delusional state where he thinks all this stuff is true. So although he might get rid of one. Well, was it that saying that to become or to overcome a monster, you have to become a monster, or something stupid like that? And he will have to become a bigger monster than the military to dispose of it. So I don't know.
He has fascist tendencies. I've been thinking before obviously this assassination attempt. I've been thinking about it a lot, and he's not necessarily standing up for the true democratic principles that the military should have nothing to do with politics. He's asking the military to stand on his side. He wants to bring the military under his influence. He wants to bring the judiciary under his influence. So he's behaving like a true fascist. Although I don't think, there's no comparison with him and Hitler. I'm not going to use that word, because I don't think he's capable of ordering anyone to murder or anything. I really don't think that. But he has these fascist attitudes towards running a government. He has this Messiah complex. He genuinely believes that this creator of billions of galaxies is just there and he just got a special hand on his God's hand on his shoulders, and it's like, oh, well done, son, you go on. I'm standing right behind you. So he has this delusion. So, but the dangerous thing is, he's the most popular leader in Pakistan right now. He really, all the whole of opposition is on one side, what they call PDM. I don't know what it stands for. Like Nawaz Sharif's party, Zardari's party, Mullahs, MMA, they're all together on one end, and Imran Khan is on the other side, and he's still more powerful. That's
why I think there might be more assassination attempts. He's just too big. He's just too big.
Yeah, but they've seen the hint though. Like I would think, like, if I was ISI, if or whoever I am, like who's trying to kill him, I would be like, well, hang on a second. If they have any stakes in Pakistan, if they're foreign powered, which I doubt, then they'd be like, yeah, that'd be interesting. Let's see Pakistan burn. Let's see chaos. Let's see, because Pakistan, so many people turned up in front of Pakistani military headquarters, Corps Commander House, and they're protesting. They're throwing rocks at the military houses. Like I said, military establishment has never happened. It's never happened.
Yeah, but there's too much at stake. Okay, this is why I think there's going to be more assassination. Okay, there's a lot of money involved. Okay, Pakistan gets a lot of aid from the United States, and and then Imran Khan is taking a position against like the biggest sugar daddy, like so. All the finances involved and all the security involved, atomic bombs involved, stability of a country that has so much radical Islam involved. There's too much at stake to let Imran Khan. I mean, I'm not endorsing any of this, but I'm saying in their view, there's just too much at stake for just let this guy just like take all of that away. That's why all of the interests and aligns to just assassinate the guy. But anyway, I'm not. This is not an endorsement of any.
Of course. None of us would endorse that.
I'm just saying it for YouTube. YouTube is
crazy. But it's very dangerous. Like I mean, so here's the key. The next key event is in 9 days, 9 or 10 days. The military chief, his tenure is about to run out, and he said that he has no intentions to renew or seek extension to his tenure. Now, a lot of conspiracy theories are here saying that, okay, they're going to manufacture some sort of a chaos, and that would give him an excuse to stay in power for longer. Now, again, that's just a conspiracy theory. I don't know how true that is. I guess the next 9 or 10 days will tell us what happens. So the next 9 or 10 days are very interesting.
Here's a question by Xi Jinping. Thank you for the super chat. Saying, why don't we see such targeting of politicians in India as compared to Pakistan? Rahul Gandhi and others are never attacked like this. I mean, Gandhi
was killed. Indira Gandhi was killed. Her son Rajiv Gandhi was killed. What are you talking about?
Yes.
Which Gandhi wasn't killed?
The Rahul.
How embarrassing is it that he's alive? He'd be like, all of my relatives died because they were super politicians. They leave me alive because they don't see me as a threat. How embarrassing. If you're a Gandhian, you're not dead, you're not a serious politician.
No shit, don't say that. By the way, thank you.
That's a joke.
You can work properly.
That's a joke for legal reasons. That's a joke. We got another super chat by SGTG. Guys, if you're watching on Harris's channel, also use super chats. Guys, come on.
Yes.
Thank you for the people who are doing super chats on my channel, but viewers on Harris's channel also use super chats. Okay.
By the way,
yeah.
Oh, I have an announcement to make. By the way, I am
coming out.
Yes,
I knew it.
and these two are my boyfriends. I'm pulling all of them out.
Yeah.
No, so I'm interviewing Michael Shermer on 10th of November on these times. Obviously, it's an odd time for people in India and Pakistan, 4:30 a.m. Friday morning, 4 a.m. Friday morning in Lahore, but obviously London, 11 p.m. So it's only going to go for about an hour. So yes, because he's on the west coast of America, literally on the opposite end of the earth. So unfortunately, that was the best time I could work out. So patrons and members, I'll share the link with you guys. Obviously, please write down your questions. You're more than welcome to come and ask the questions, speak to Michael Shermer yourself. But I would only dedicate like 20-25 minutes to Q&A, and the rest 30-35 minutes would be just my interview, my conversation with him. So do join. And special mention to Zaharos, because he's the one who keeps pushing me to send emails to these guys. I think I did it with Lawrence Krauss after he bugged me, and then with Michael Shermer after he bugged me, and there's another guy I've sent an email, I forgot his name. So yeah, let's see. So I'll try to keep doing this. I'll try to keep inviting these academics and celebrity scientists.
All right, I want to show you. Yeah, guys, make sure you go to, if you're watching this on Veedu's channel or my channel, make sure you go and subscribe to Harris Sultan's channel so you can see that. It should be very interesting. I wanted to share with you guys the audio that you heard. Like, sorry, I didn't know the audio was on when Harris was speaking, but I wanted to show you there's this thing happening in Iran, and a bunch of kids and younger people are removing the mullah's turban as they're walking about. So this one, you can see these are a whole bunch of schoolgirls that are excited because a mullah was passing by and they just knocked off his turban. Like that's his turban was free. Okay. They're all happy. They're all excited. And then I have more. Wait, there's a lot of more of this happening.
MashaAllah!
Like, oh, mashallah. All right, so the situation has gone so bad that mullahs are coming out in the street like this they're tying up their turbans, right?
Oh.
Because there's just too many mullahs.
Now they're wearing hijab, mashallah. Now they are not wearing a burqa. Oh
Yeah.
my
Subhanallah.
SubhanAllah, look at this. Look at this. Sign of the end of the days. The women are taking it off, the men are putting it on. Look at this.
Wait, hold on. There's another one. You can see in the bus. That was like this very quick one.
It's so
In the bus.
That's
And
so cheeky.
It's
Yeah,
actually
so-
bad, but it's kind of funny at the same time.
yeah, look, more mullahs are coming and they're tying up the turbans in the street.
I'm just when are Nike gonna do a turban where that it doesn't come off? When is Nike gonna do that? They did hijab. Now they should do a turban. Yeah, they should do a turban that doesn't come off.
Actually, wait, I have a tweet that Susanna sent me about this. They turned it into a comedic video. And they turned it into a sports event now. Okay, so they're like.
What the hell?
Wait.
What are they doing?
It's a joke.
Oh, there you go. That turban's gonna fly. Here we go. Boom! Boom!
Oh my God! With the
6
speed.
Look at the angle.
Can we get hotspot on that?
There you go. Another one. Look at this. They're actually.
They're being hunted.
Yeah, they're hunting them. They're stalking them like a predator. Oh, he's coming after him.
Like Neo from the Matrix.
Oh! In the process, he lost his other garments as well.
Oh my God, this is crazy.
What about this?
What?
What about this? What's happening here? Masi Alinejad, she shared this. Tell me what's happening here. This looks very confrontational. Oh, let me
Turn the audio.
I don't know why it's doing this. What happened? Why is it doing this?
Refresh the page.
It's bizarre. Everything
Yeah,
else
Twitter?
is working fine. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Twitter. There we go.
Oh, yeah. These are mullahs telling girls to take off, to put back their hijab, and the girls are like.
Oh, another man said, "Don't shout."
Wow.
That's amazing.
So the mullahs are coming to girls and tell them to put back their hijab, and the girls are fighting back and saying it's none of your business. Ooh, she's like, put back your hijab, you filth, and the girl is saying it's none of your business. It's none of your business.
You have no morals. That's amazing. Look at this, God's
Like,
order.
it's your duty. Yeah. So they're standing back. They're just challenging the mullahs. It's pretty
Amazing.
impressive. Yeah.
Oh, go live with Masi Alinejad in England. No, she lives in America, you idiot.
And like, if you don't want to wear the hijab, leave Iran. She's like, I can't leave Iran. I want to not wear the hijab here.
Yeah, I mean, we can see the subtitles.
تو حسار که نیستم حق شما رو میخورم این شما این که حق ما رو دارین میخورین شما و امثال شما دارین حق ما رو میخورین
Bro, what's Imam Tawhidi doing there?
Yeah, I was just going to say that. So Armin, so tell me, so how come so many people can so openly challenge these mullahs? Like, I'd be so scared. So is it just there's no? I mean, they've lost control. Like the moral police, they've lost.
I mean, they're dying. Like, there's so many of them being shot and killed. So it's not like there's nothing happening. It's just that this new generation in Iran, just Generation Z in Iran, just seems to have no chill. Like they have balls of steels. Like their friends. One of their chances that for each one of us you kill, 1,000 of us more, 1,000 more will show up. Actually, let me show you how freaking bold these people are. They're like telling, here, you're like, oh, what's happening? Are they not being attacked? Oh no, they are being attacked. Let me show you. And they're inviting the officers, the armed forces, to shoot them. I'm going to show you a video. These young Generation Z, they're coming to the armed forces. They're like, just shoot us, because like they're showing you that they don't care. Look at this video.
Kind of like the woman that I showed you.
Yeah, no, but this one is like an actual invitation to shoot at us. Look at this. So on this side you have the protesters. On the other side you have the regime forces. They're underneath. They're shoot at us, kill us.
But look. Yeah, but
watch.
Watch.
No,
Sorry,
watch. It gets a lot more intense. Shoot! Come on, shoot! Look at this girl. Shoot me.
I don't understand.
And those are the armed forces.
I don't understand where, like, I mean, it's just, I mean, people get so sick and tired that they say, you know what, I don't care. Like, look at this woman. Like, I showed you this woman as well. She's saying exactly the same thing as well. She's saying, shoot me. Look at this lady.
Let me bring it.
She's saying, shoot me. Yeah. This is in Pakistan. She's saying, come, shoot me.
Wow. Yeah.
Is these guys have... But to be honest, I wouldn't be afraid of Pakistani police because I know they wouldn't. But with your Iranian revolutionary guards and all those, I think that they would pull the trigger.
They are pulling the trigger. Like every day we're having more casualties. Every day we're coming to have new people, like a list of new people who are shot dead.
That's so scary, man. So how do you rationalize that, Armin? How do you see it? Like, I mean, yeah, fair enough. We're not in that situation. Therefore, we like. I mean, I don't feel like ever saying like, hey, for that cause or that cause, here, shoot me in my face. I'd be like, all right, mate, whatever you want. All right, I'm just going the other way, and then I'll stab you in the back. That's a different thing. But these people are so brave.
Yeah, because they had enough. They're suffocating. They're like nothing else has worked. Nothing else has worked. Like their complaints, their voices. It's just they're like, this is the only way. And also, they don't want to talk anymore. Like the regime, like, okay, fine, like let's talk. They're like, that's time is over. We want to see you in your graves. Like we hate you. We hate everything about you. Like there are videos here that I cannot show. Like a lot of people have managed to get their hands on armed forces, and they are brutal. Like I have seen some videos that keeps me up at night. Okay, and they share those videos. Like they get like these officers and they like beat them with stones and kill them.
Killing the officers.
Yeah. They set them on fire. I have a video that I can show you. They set one of them on fire, and they shared it on Twitter. And you can see the comments. People are fucking like they're lusting over it. Like they're fucking loving it. They're so. I mean, the hate. I mean, I can see the hate is justified. You have no idea how much hate they have for these people. And anybody that excuses anything the regime does, they hate them as well. And with such passion, the level of hate that exists, justifiable hate and anger. It's off the charts. It's crazy. But yeah, and also like there's a lot of these people, they want to see every single one of these people dead, but not just dead. They want to see them die painfully, you know. And I'm not going to go over some of the conversations because I think I'm going to get flagged here on YouTube if I say that. Yeah. But it's like, yeah. But what do you guys think? Yeah.
Well, that's look. I'm seeing that. I'm trying to find this video where this guy was just by himself. He was standing in front of 10, 15 soldiers, barricaded soldiers, somewhere in Pakistan, and this guy was so emotionally hurt. He was crying and he was screaming at the top of his lungs that if something happens to my Imran Khan, I will, you know, like, and he was just threatening the terrible things. It's just, I don't know, like how, I mean, it is a personality, cult of personality. And, you know, like, look at this, these protests erupted and they've started shelling, them, Punjab, the military, I don't know, it can't be Punjab police, but anyway, whoever they are. So they are supporting, obviously, for Imran Khan. And these people come out. It's just, I don't know. It's like, obviously, the situation must be very dire and hopeless for these people that they go, you know what, I don't care. I don't care anymore. Kill me. And that's why statements like these that people like Imran Khan make. Imran Khan says, I'm willing to give up my life. So why should you not do the same? And that's that creates something in people. While Veedu is just sitting there like this, he's like, yeah, idiot.
Look at this video. I mean, there's so much videos I can show. Can I show you a man on fire on YouTube? I can't.
No, you can't. No.
But this one, but look at this guy. Kind of like you can see the armed forces, the way they treat like individuals, right?
Yeah.
Like this is
there's
so much.
This is Sparta.
No, but that's just an old man. That's just an old man.
Oh my
okay,
God.
like look at.
Well, he wasn't.
Yeah, so this is an old man
Sparta,
being hit, but this one you can't see the rest because the rest is brutal. This was a police officer, an armed forces car, and the people inside of him, they have been brutally beaten. Like there's blood everywhere. Like
No. But who are they? Are they civilians or police?
This is a civilian. Okay, no, the
right.
first video. No, this is a clip of a video showing what we're doing to you in response to what you did to us.
Yes.
So the first part is like, look at the officers, the way they treat us, and we're gonna do everything you did to us. We're gonna do to you 1,000 times more. So this is a girl. Like you have no idea. These people have been beaten to death. Almost to death or to death. Like based on the videos I've seen, but with stones. Like they're bleeding all over this car, and some of them are like they're like bleeding, and this girl is coming up and like hitting one of them as well while they're bleeding to death in the car. And the pro-regime people are trying to identify who she is, but like the people who are celebrating it, like you do this to us, we do this to you. So it's like this, and now us.
Sparta. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
Wow. This is why I always say people always think that the governments are strong, states are strong, they have tanks, they have guns. People have nothing. People are unarmed. But no, when people go crazy, I think you can't stop them. But obviously, it always comes at a cost. I mean, a lot of people die, but eventually, if they don't die out, I mean, this cruelty, barbarity, I don't know. It never wins. It never does. People always eventually end up standing up.
Oh, you're mute.
You're mute, Armin.
Let me show you. Like the regime is shooting a lot of people with.
I don't think you can show that. Don't show
I
that.
can't show that. Okay.
No.
That's for the private Patreon.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Anything that shows injury or whatever, just don't show it. Don't risk it.
No, somebody is asking me Persian to show something. I don't think I can show that either, guys.
No, you can't. We can't show. Just explain it. Just explain it. I think use words, and that would inspire people to look for it themselves.
Yeah, I mean on Twitter you can see a lot of these things. So yeah, we got 2 super chats. One is saying definition of mullah: I am incapable of minding my my own thing business.
Yeah, that's right. That's so true. It's so true. You know, these people say when they come to these Western countries and they say, "Oh, why don't you let us practice our belief or whatever, blah blah blah." But then you're like, "Hang on a second. You are allowed to practice your religion. You are allowed to go to your mosque or whatever. But don't put that on us." Wherever they go, like if the end game is always, let me impose Sharia. I have to strive. I have to struggle to create an Islamic caliphate. That is the end game. Yep. And wherever they are in power, again, I'm not saying it with malice or as a rhetoric. This is actually one of the aims of Islam as faith. The faith requires you to establish Islam.
Absolutely.
This is I'm very limited on what I can show you. There's a lot more I wish I could show you, but this is a picture of a mother and father waiting for. Outside of the prison, like they waiting for their figuring out what happened to their child, like among the protesters, right? Like they're just sleeping there day and night, and the regime doesn't tell them anything about where their son is. And one of the fathers just recently died from a heart attack outside of the prison, waiting to hear about what happened to his child. But yeah, I mean, they just go and kidnap them, and there's no due process, there's no there's no communication with the family, and one of them was recently just been given an execution date with a trial that took like less than half an hour. It's such a it seems like they're determined to make people angrier. Sort of like I'm like, what do you do? Like, what are you guys doing? Like, you're like, oh yeah, let's do more of what made people come into the streets to fuel the flames of the protests. It's bizarre. Well, Well, we got another super chat. I think it's back to the Pakistan thing, but it's super chat, so we have to answer that. Xi Jinping is asking.
He ain't going nowhere. Imran Khan ain't going nowhere, bro.
But let me read it. Will Imran Khan?
No. I'm not even let. No. You can't even read it. No. No, you can't even read it.
Okay, why wouldn't? Why is he not leaving Pakistan?
Yeah, this is his moment now. He's not going to leave now. This is his moment. He took a bullet for this shit. He got, he really say what you want about the guy in terms of his politics, religion. He is determined to the point of delusion, and he is not leaving. He is he will somehow become the next the prime minister or president again, whatever it is.
Or die trying.
Somehow he'll do it.
Or die trying.
He'll die trying. Whatever. Literally, he will die trying. And if he does die, the amount of the eruption you're gonna see in Pakistan, it is gonna be the Mustakalandar.
He said
he's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy.
He said it. I have never seen Pakistani, his fanboys, fangirls, which they're not just few handful, they're in millions. They're saying everything that the liberals of Pakistan used to say very subtly. Hey, look, we did wrong the people of East Pakistan. That's why it ended up becoming Bangladesh, because our military raped their women and mass murdered them and slaughtered them.
Exactly.
Back in the day, before all of this, if anyone like you or I would say, we'll be called, oh, you're traitors, you're an Indian agent, you're a CIA agent or whatever. People will not admit it. But now, these masses, the social media is full of it. And they're all saying, military did this, they cost us Bangladesh. They broke Pakistan before. I think it's called.
Where are all these Einsteins coming out from? For the last 70 years, they've been hiding. And because their boy gets shot.
Because yes.
Complete genuinely, this is the level of retardation that country is unbelievable.
They literally, because the hero got shot. That's the only reason. And he himself has said it a few times. Oh, please don't do this. Army chief, don't do this. If you did it, then you might break Pakistan again. He said it. He said it himself.
Wow.
He's like, he's not going anywhere. He, as Veedu said, he is determined to the point of delusion. Yeah. This is his moment to shine. He will become the prime minister, or he will die trying.
He will defeat the Antichrist. He will wrestle with the Dajjal before he leaves Pakistan.
He said
he will hold the hand of Isa alayhi salam and say, "Look at our parliament. I made this for you." And then
people are making memes. People make his memes, like he said along the lines that, "Oh, Allah has sent me to correct this nation," and this is why, like a lot of traditional Muslims, like DLP people, they get angry. They're like, "What the hell are you talking about?" Because they get pissed off. Like, are you claiming to be Mahdi? Imam Mahdi?
No, but it's true. He has this.
He believes.
Yeah.
Mahdi complex is the same thing as a Messiah complex. So
Mahdi is a Messiah. So there we go.
It's a more halal version of saying it.
Yeah. All right. We have another question by Idris. Idris is asking, if you had to create the most powerful religion ever that influenced a believer's life the most, is hard to disbelieve, and spread the most, what would you do? I have one. I have a good one. We're going.
Well, I think Islam is pretty good when it comes to that.
No, well, you have to make your own.
Oh, I have. Well, I'll copy Islam.
I think anything that's like Islam or like communism, because remember, under the communist states, people were completely indoctrinated. Or you could look at North Korea. Anything that is totalitarian, that doesn't give you any space to have your own individuality, that's pretty good. Because
be original. Make something new.
Well, it could literally be anything, but the principle is, wherever you go, you are that thing. You can't say, I'm only a Christian in church, but when I go and play football or when I'm in at school, I can do. No, you're Christian everywhere. You're Muslim everywhere. Everything you do has to be in the name of Islam. Everything is towards the communist dictator. Everything is for the state. It's everything. Right. It's totalitarianism, right? It doesn't allow. That's why 1984, George Orwell. There is no safe place. The original meaning of safe place was actually to get away from the government, not anyway. But yeah, safe place to be like, I can just be myself. You can't be yourself, because once you are yourself, then you start asking questions. You're like, wait, why is the world the way it is? Why do I have to do this? Why? So to stop the whys, everything you are is in devotion to this one thing, the state or God or whatever it may be. So it has to be totalitarian.
All right. Well, okay. I will take what you guys said and some other ideas, and I'll mix it together. Okay, and I'll add my own flavor to it. Okay. So the idea that some people came up with this already with this alternative religion, and I'm gonna modify it a little bit. Okay, that everybody is the same person. That once I die, I will be born again as a Chinese girl 400 years ago or 400 years from now. Right, and that the entire human race is one individual. Okay, that is re-experiencing all these lives, right? And you could turn that idea, because it's good. It has a beautiful message to it as well, because every time you hurt somebody, you're going to experience that. So it's a good moral message. Like, you're hurting yourself every time you help a homeless person in the street. That was you help yourself, right? So it has a nice message to it. You could modify this to say that, okay, let's take this, and the whole reason behind all of this is growth, because you are the one entity and you are God. And everybody who doesn't accept this ideology needs to be again, I'm not saying this, I'm just coming up with an alternative religion, needs to be murdered so they could wake up as the next person that will realize this. So you could add that totalitarian element to it. And also, given that you are God, I think this is a good religion to motivate people to believe in, because we could say the shrines that you have to make would be to yourself. So everybody would be making a shrine in their house, and they will recognize themselves as God. So I think it's easier to believe this because it will add a lot of self-importance to yourself. So it's an easy religion to market as a. So I don't know. I think that would sell well if you made that religion.
Well, there always has to be carrot and stick. And
right,
Islam has two elements. There's one, spiritual fear, and then there's obviously the actual real world fear. You can't imagine, when I look at all these ordinary lipstick Muslims and all that, yeah, they genuinely have reverence for Muhammad and Islam in their heart. They have love and respect for the holy figures, and they are not under any threat. I mean, they're not thinking that, if I just said I don't believe in Islam anymore, then I'll be beheaded. Yes, it might be inconvenient. So they do believe that. I mean, people like to stay in their own comfort zone. So I think Islam is successful in that part as well. Like, for example, Christianity, yes, Christianity has this concept of, heaven and hell as well. And, oh, Father, blah, 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 whatever. But then there is no punishment for apostasy in Christianity, or at least I know of in any Christian country for now. But people still hold their reverence, but obviously not to that extent that Muslims do. So I think it's a combination of both. So yeah, I think what you said, there has to be a right balance. I know it might sound like a cliche, but there has to be a proper balance, because if you go too much totalitarian in the real world, then people do end up rebelling. Like what will happen in these theocracies, people do end up rebelling. But in these Muslim countries, Muslims are not necessarily rebelling against Islam. And this is the reason why they rebel against the theocracies like Iran. Most of them are not going to give up on Islam, though. They're not going to become ex-Muslims as soon as they come out of it. So I think there has to be some sexy, spiritual, unfalsifiable bullshit as well that people can just hold on to. It's oh yeah, that's beautiful. Imran Khan is not under any threat, but people he's a politician, so fair enough. Probably not the best example, but a lot of these Pakistanis who believe in it, they genuinely believe in it without any fear of. This is why I always tell them, when someone says, "Oh, you're doing this or whatever," it's so easy to become this. I say, well, how about you just go out to your family members and tell them, just as an experiment, that hey, I've left Islam and I've become an atheist. Then see what happens. And that's the moment when they actually think about it for the very first time. The point is, they haven't even thought about it at that point. They in their heart, they believe whatever it is, it's true. So it's not just stick. I mean, there's some spiritual love as well.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Well, mine had both sticks and carrots.
Yeah.
People are saying I recreated Hinduism. No, Hinduism didn't have the sticks I did. I said, if you do not accept this, first of all, Hinduism doesn't tell you that you are one God. It just says you are part of an entity that is everything else is made of.
That's one part of Hinduism.
Yeah, one part of Hinduism. And also, I didn't have the stick. I tell you, the people who do not accept this need to realize this sooner. So maybe you should shorten their life so that they could reincarnate as somebody who does realize this. This is a very heavy stick that Hinduism doesn't have. Anyways, let's go to the next question. Oh, by the way, we had people who said that they would convert to our religion if the three of us create one. So there's that.
I'm the Alpha God.
The Holy Trinity. This is the Trinity. We're all three into one.
Yeah. Actually, we will make a good religion. Actually, we have three different.
Who's gonna? Nah, it's a very male-dominated one. Who gets to keep some goddesses as well?
Yeah, but they can be under us. Where they belong.
Yes.
They don't have to come.
Actually, I agree because like time has shown that male-dominated religions survive and the female ones have gone extinct. So there's
Kali Ma, sexy Kali. Sexy Kali still has a lot of bhakts.
Look at Hindu, yeah, but not compared to the male ones in Hinduism. Who has more devotees, male gods in Hinduism or female ones?
I think she's pretty close. Kali Ma is pretty close.
No, compared to Shiva, compared to Vishnu. Vishnu's reincarnations have more devotees than Kali Ma.
But but people get more worked up if you insult Kali than Vishnu. So Kali Ma is more loved.
That's also because men feel like they own the woman. So that's more like, hey, don't come after my property kind of thing. It's not because they're more valuable. All right, let's go to the next question. Wait, how do you think future global warming related disaster will affect the fight for human rights in the Middle East?
What?
Ooh, I never thought about that. I don't know how that's
related.
Why
it is related actually. Here.
Oh,
here. Actually, you guys are right. What? But here,
climate. So, can you go up to the title?
Okay, so here, relationship between climate change and political instability. The case for Middle East and North Africa countries.
Yeah,
I mean, this is literally what happened in Syria. Syria, because of the drought issue, was like the whole. I mean, the Arab Spring arguably happened because of climate change.
Had nothing.
Right. Well,
so you reckon the drought made people angry, and they got sick of the tyranny, and
I'm angry
as a result. And then,
Viddu, you laugh, but that's actually
it's
not. Yeah, I mean, it's not like that's the only factor, but it was a major factor.
They were like, I haven't got any water to perform with all.
I mean,
now I was doing it with rocks and sand.
I'm going to wash my bum.
Well, let me
not enough rocks.
Well, let me read this abstract. But this is a peer-reviewed academic research article. So, but here, let me read this. The aim of this study is to examine the relationship between climate change and political instability in the Middle East and North Africa region. To this extent, 18 Middle East and North African countries are analyzed, covering the period between 1985 to 2016 with monthly data. In econometric analysis, at first, cross-sectional dependency analysis is applied, and existence of Okay, let me get to the conclusion. According to the finding, there is a causal relationship. So it's not just a correlation. So not just correlation has been proven, causation has also been proven. Okay, I mean established. A causal relationship from climate change to political instability in 16 countries and to conflict in 15 countries. In addition to this, at least one causal relationship is determined from climate change to political instability or conflict in all Middle East and North Africa countries. Therefore, empirical results support the assumption that climate change acts as a threat multiplier in Middle East and North African countries, since it accelerates and deepens the current instabilities. So it's not like it causes the instabilities. Like if you read the conclusion bottom at the article, the instabilities are caused by something else. But this actually it says it triggers it as well.
Yeah, it says it triggers it. But it's one of those. But one of those things. Like I mean, I don't know if any of you guys have ever watched those mega disaster documentaries on History Channel or Discovery Channel. They always say that. If there is any global catastrophe or even a localized catastrophe, then everything breaks down. We saw that in this epidemic session. People were just going crazy about toilet rolls, and people were just stocking up and all these things. So, but that obviously was not that big. That's why we didn't get to see that, and people could manage that. But imagine, they say that a true disaster is only 6 meals away or something like that. So it's like, when shelves go empty, like we people are so, we're so dependent on the society that we actually don't even know. You and I, even if we see a chicken in front of us, we wouldn't know what to do with this. We wouldn't be able to kill it. We wouldn't even be able to skin it. We're screwed. We're screwed. If the society breaks down, we're fucked. Yeah. We are screwed.
Yeah, I agree.
What do you think of Veedu about climate change, given that you're on the right of all of this?
Well, he believes in it.
Oh boy, here we go. Okay, now the
you don't believe it? Okay. Oh, you don't believe it?
Oh no.
No, I don't agree with the way that mainstream left has portrayed it. Like it's the end of the world. They have been saying the end of the world for the last 50, 60 years, or even longer if you go back in history. I do believe climate change, but global warming, the way they're saying it, and Greta Thunberg, they're I'm not going to say, right?
Oh my God.
Greta Thunberg, go back to school. How about you pick up a geography book before you start chatting crap? Okay,
what are you talking about?
Greta Thunberg, I'm coming for you. Okay.
Wait, that, by the way, he's not literally coming for it. He means like he's going to be making videos.
Yes.
Metaphorically speaking,
I'm coming for you.
Yeah, right. Be careful, guys. This is not a threat. This is a joke. Okay, we're not actually threatening anyone.
No. But what do you mean? Like, I mean, climate change is happening. Yeah, majority of the scientists believe it to be true. Good. It is happening, and they can create models, and then they can predict it. That it's rising at a certain rate.
Mother effers have been predicting bollocks. For the last
like what,
bro? People are still buying real estate on the coast, and the value is increasing. You think people that are buying these real estate guys, I'll be like, this coast won't be here in 2 years' time, but I'm going to buy a house worth 5 million quid.
Yeah, because there are idiots there too who don't believe in climate change.
No, but even if they have like stupid beliefs, at the end of the day,
how do you know? How do you know that? Have you surveyed every person who said that? Oh, like I'm buying it, and then they're like, I do believe in climate change. No, obviously the person who's buying it is probably, and obviously it's not going to happen tomorrow. It's not going to happen in 20 years' time. Most investment planning that we make, we try to make. We can't give you a date, but
wait, bring your microphone back.
I'm saying it's a moving target. This is what I'm saying. Like these, like these Christian doomsday guys. The
this is not like Christian doomsday. Oh, come on, Veedu.
No. We meant like in 20 years time.
Veedu,
when that comes,
oh my God.
No. I mean. It's the moving target.
There are so many there's so many variables at play. Give me a commonsensical argument, okay? I'm not an expert. I'm not an expert, and neither are you. But I want to ask you. I want to ask you a question.
Greta Thunberg.
Screw Greta Thunberg. Screw her. But I'm talking to you. We can, if we believe what scientists tell us about everything else, why can we not believe in scientists when it comes to this?
I don't have an issue with scientists saying the climate is changing. I'm not denying climate change.
Do you think it's man-made? Do you think humans have an influence on climate?
Human beings are part of the bloody ecosystem. Of course, whatever we do influences the ecosystem.
Good.
I'm not saying no.
So what's the problem here? So what's the problem?
I just want to have a run. Why can't I just go off on? Listen, all I'm saying, I don't agree with the political solutions. Okay. So
let it go. Business as usual. Let it go. Just keep putting carbon in the atmosphere.
You know this whole green, all this kind of crap, right? Here we go. Look at that comment. Obama bought a property at a place that will be destroyed by global warming. This man, right? So he's not stupid. He's not stupid.
No. Yeah, but Obama's going to live. Obama's going to live for 50 years, 100 more years.
Well, that's your argument. So you're saying I'm going to buy a house that will be drowned out in 10 years' time?
Hang on a second. Armin can add into it. When people or business decision, when they make this business decision, they want a quick buck, as in the shortest manner possible. So
no.
Is the property? No, he's buying it. Yeah, he's buying it, but there could be other reasons as well that could actually boost the value in next 10 years rather than it's going to devalue everything or inundate the whole area in 60 years' time. So there's so many other factors at play. But again, having said that, that doesn't mean so why don't you just say it? Why don't you just say that, okay, the Earth is not heating up. There's not going to be a rise in sea temperature, sea level. Why don't you say that?
Okay, so let's what's it called? Go back to the political solutions, because this is where you really see the nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
They want US, especially the Western countries, not bearing in mind they don't talk about India, they don't talk about China, they don't talk about Brazil, right? They don't talk about any of it. They want the US, UK, these Western countries to cut back on manufacturing or production. You have these crazy activists who start saying, "Oh, we're all capitalist, crazy, consumerist nonsense," right? What they don't realize is that these countries, the first world or developed countries, whatever you want to call them, that are developing the green technology because they are now no longer starving the way they were 200 years ago. They have the luxury that they to afford to invest in higher, more sustainable, ecologically friendly technology. Countries that are like India, China, they are maybe not so much now, but in the last 50 years, they are less economically developed. They don't care about green because guess what? They just don't want to be poor. So they will use the cheapest and most available energy sources to burn to climb the ladder, right? And when they reach a certain level of affluence, guess what? They'll be doing green technology as well. But what you don't understand is you don't get to do green technology unless you go through the burning coal and burning the most cheapest source of energy. This is the way of the world. What was this country doing? What was this country UK during the Industrial Revolution? The same thing. Now we don't have to do that because
let me show you something.
That point.
So this is
what I'm saying is, by the way, these people, I'm not joking, are anti-human.
Okay, so
these guys are anti-human.
Guys, so this is what I'm going to show you. So this is the time when we actually bring in some stats. Good old fact slapping, right? So China is
I don't believe in stats. I don't believe in stats unless they agree with me. But go on.
Yeah, so China has made more. China's investing more heavily into clean energy than any other country. 84 billion, 55 billion by US, 16 billion Japan, India 9.3 billion. India. So these third world countries who used to say that, hey, hang on a second, you guys put all this carbon in the atmosphere, and now you're asking when it's our turn to make money or get prosperous, now you're telling us not to do it. But they also are on board. They're also investing money. So they're also doing, so this is a myth. Look at this. Australia is the worst country per capita. But okay, we're there. We're still pretty bad. But look at this. You're look at this, 5.3 billion.
Bro,
you're smaller than Australia. So why do you? So when you say that, they're going to take away the manufacturing jobs and blah blah blah, you don't have manufacturing jobs and there's so many other reasons for that. Because labor is so expensive. No, because
firstly, it was service based, and those countries are manufacturing.
Yes.
So why would we need to invest that much money into thinking?
Because you're producing electricity. It's about producing electricity. Yeah. So if you're producing electricity.
US, that's China, the three biggest populations.
Yeah, they're there. They're doing their bit. Everyone has to do their bit. Yeah. I'm saying China is doing more than anyone else.
Because they're the ones that produce the most.
Australia's population is far less than the UK, but look, we're investing more money than you guys. So I don't know what you.
Yeah, but it's hotter in Australia.
Veedu, the investment in green technology has made the cost of it nosedive. Like it has been paid off.
Yes.
Like if we keep investing like this, the price of it, the cost of it will keep nosediving until a point where it will become very efficient. It will literally save the world. The investment in green technology.
Okay.
No, but
that's fine.
Here's the thing: you keep I think you're consuming a lot of right wing media. Okay,
because that's my job, isn't it? I'm on the right wing.
Yeah, I know, but the point is that you are correct. There are a lot of crazy predictions, okay, but not by the scientists. You keep saying Al Gore or other people, okay, but the scientists, okay, are not the people that are coming up with like crazy hyperbolic.
So give me a scientific prediction.
No, so what we know, okay, based on all the models, is that there will be mass suffering, hunger, starvation, and devastation. It's not going to be the end of. Hold on. No, it's not going to be the end of the world, okay? But it will cause a lot of suffering, especially in poor countries. A lot of suffering. Okay, and investment in green technology would reduce that. Go on.
Yeah. Okay. So you know Steven Pinker, right? I think you've even interviewed him.
And
he's saying that we are now in the most like
best of times. Yes.
Yeah,
right.
we are
Okay.
in the best.
So then what are you talking about?
Okay, Veedu. We will still be in the best of times. We will let me address this. We will still be in the best of times if tomorrow, okay, you kill 2 million people. Okay? If you kill 20 million people, we are so much in the best of times that if tomorrow a ruler decided to just mass execute 20 million people, we will still be in the best of times. Okay?
So that's quite a good buffer.
Yeah, but we should avoid. but if we could,
okay.
But but if you could predict that, I mean,
that's pretty good buffer.
It's a pretty good buffer, but that doesn't mean
you should not if you're one of those 65 million people.
Yeah, of course. No, I understand. I'm playing with you, but I understand. I'm not saying we shouldn't. By the way, I'm pro green technology. If you have a green option, as opposed to I'm pro green. I'm just not pro. It's the end of the world, and
how are we going to do it then? What about how are we going to do it then? If
we don't believe about lying about the end of the world, how about that?
No, all the coastal cities will be inundated.
And then it's like, oh, actually, no. We
end of the world. It's not end of the world like like a giant meteor is going to crash into the earth and the whole planet will be engulfed in flames. It's not that end of the world, but I don't know what's the percentage of all the coastal cities. Bangladesh would be underwater. All the coastal cities in India and Pakistan and Netherlands will be underwater. Coastal cities of United States will be underwater. So that's a problem.
Yeah.
So that's a problem. Surely we should be able to do something. We just cannot not do anything. We still got to do something. Like here's another analogy. Let me give you another analogy. Well, if we see that there is a mountain, like an asteroid 3 kilometers wide is hurtling towards Earth, and we go, we don't have enough advance warning, so we can't really deflect it. But if we try to nuke it, then we might have multiple, pieces falling onto the onto Earth. Then what should we do? So we're still gonna do something. We're not just gonna say, you know what, let it hit. People will still try to do something because you always have to do something. And there is a possible. I mean, it's not foolproof. It's not. Scientists don't know when it's going to happen and whether that would be even. Some people say we've already gone past the point of no return. But we've got to do something. Also, another thing is that there are a few things like that could be as this devastating, even though it's not going to be the end of the world. Like
literally
the Well, yeah. I'm not saying it's not going to be the end of. But still, among all the things that could be devastating to us right now, this is one of the worst. So I'd rather we if we are, because we're never going to be able to predict this exactly right. Okay. But the cost of guessing it a little bit less than it's going to be is worse than the cost of us overdoing it. Like,
no, I'd
rather overdo it than underdo it.
Yeah, exactly. I understand that. I understand. But so can you tell me what the major cause of this is?
We're putting carbon.
Cow farts.
Carbon emission.
What do you mean? Yeah, cow farts.
Are you
greenhouse gases?
Yeah.
Okay, and how do we get rid of that?
Well, we need to reduce
green technology. Switching to green technology.
That's an investment. I'm saying, do you agree with the people when they say we should reduce consumption, manufacturing, reduce our lifestyle, reduce this, reduce that? Do you agree with that, or are you like?
No, I do see the arguments that reducing economic development will makes us go through green technology slower. Okay, I do see that argument. Some scientists have suggested that, not just like average people. So anything that slows down the economy, I'm skeptical about the benefits of that, because it might actually keep the country on fossil fuel longer. Okay, exactly. because it will stay poorer, they will stay on fossil fuel longer. I don't know about slowing down anything. I just agree with speeding up, switching to green technology. That's what I want.
This is what this is what the map of the world's map's going to look like if all the ice at the poles melted. Look at this. There's no Bangladesh. Look at Pakistan. The western part of India is gone. Look at Europe. Half your already tiny island that's gone. Netherlands gone. Look at half the Brazil is gone. United States. Look at that. The whole of Florida is gone. That's just going to happen. There's no two ways about it. And this is
when?
Okay, 2100. Okay, let's just go with the most.
No, that's what I'm saying. I can give you a map and say this is gone, and you say when. I'm like, it doesn't matter. It'll be gone. But when?
So hang on. So
when? This is what I'm saying. It's just like when.
What difference?
I don't know.
Okay. No.
Well, I'm just asking for a date.
Within 80 years. Within the next 80 years. What difference does it
Where did
make?
you get that number from? Please tell
I
me.
don't know. But does this matter? We don't. I mean, I don't
Yes,
really
it
know.
does. If I said we're going to lose the coast in 1,000 years, is that a problem? No.
No. 1,000 years.
Okay, I don't know. Okay.
That's a problem.
Okay, 1,000 years.
Within a couple of what I know is that there's going to be
is the problem.
devastating
By the end of the
cost.
century.
No. Vidz is coming, like the second coming of Christ, but no one's got a date.
No. We do have
unlike second coming of Christ, we have actual evidence.
Please show me the date. I'll put it in my diary. Okay.
So it has to be
It's
the
not an
date.
exact. It's not an exact date, but it is.
Give me the decade.
We've told you that the full polar ice could melt by the end of the century. What are you going to do then?
Again, this is just hairy.
So hang on. So you're saying if it happens in 2130, then you're like, oh yeah, okay, these scientists got it wrong by 30 years. Or if it happens by 2070, oh man, you didn't tell me. I would have done it had you told me 2070 instead of 2100. What difference does it make? 2070 or 2100 or 2130?
Okay,
it's
if
still
you give me
within
a window,
our.
I'm okay with the window. If you say
told you by 2100.
The window is like the windows are like less than 100 years. Okay, so it's not an exact thing.
That's right.
But it's not 1,000 years. Okay, so we don't
so
know
that's
exactly
not the end of
when.
the world. 100 years.
It's the end of the world for these people.
That's not the end of the world.
It's not the end. No, I agree. It's not the end of the world, but it's devastating.
Okay.
It's devastating.
It is devastating. But then
we
we have
have
time
to do something
about it.
It is almost the end of the world as we know it, because you fuckers could not handle a freaking pandemic with some lockdowns. Imagine all your ports are gone. Imagine all your cities are gone.
We have more
Imagine
ports.
all your houses are gone. Huh?
Harris, I don't think framing it as end of the world might make less people.
No.
Because we had a plague that like wiped away half of Europe, and civilization still survived. So
let me put it into perspective. Let me put it into perspective.
But that's devastating.
Let me put it into perspective.
Genghis Khan was more end of the world than this.
Fucking hell.
Yes.
Let me put it into perspective.
Genghis Khan.
Okay. Let me put it into perspective. We can't even handle a pandemic. I mean, when the government tells you, like, we have these protests, we have this, like, oh, everyone's coming to take over. Oh, this is a grand conspiracy. This is a grand plan. Imagine what are you going to do when all the ports are gone? You know, all our ports are on our coastal cities. Those ports are gone. How are you going to ship stuff? How are you going to do trade? How are you going to do?
Well,
life as we know it would be absolutely fucked as we know it. You will have no freaking jobs. Oh, let me build fucking some manufacturing.
Work from home.
Let me give you prediction. I will give you some prediction. I will give you, and I will read you the source as well. Okay, by 2100, 50% to 75% of the global population may face climate conditions that are life-threatening due to combined effects of extreme heat and humidity. Climate change is affecting food security as caused reduction in global yields of maize, wheat, and soybeans so basically that's how it's not just about shorelines, it's about the devastation to food supply that is going to be devastating.
Catastrophe is only 6 meals away. How are you gonna Russia of all countries, I give you a date. Russia allowed Ukraine to keep shipping wheat because we knew that there would be global shortage of wheat if Russia doesn't allow it. That's only one tiny country, Ukraine. Okay, now imagine like we are so connected to each other. Everything could be fucked. There'd be famine, people dying, killing each other. You can't find bread. Did you watch that video? No, you weren't there. I played a video in Pakistan, this Pakistani flood. There were two men. They were fighting over a sack of grain. And the guy and they're trying to snatch it off each other. And the guy who lost, he was crying a fully grown man crying like a little boy, and it was gut wrenching, and all the people were around. That's only one person, and obviously that was those were pretty devastating floods in Pakistan. But now imagine that happening all over the world at that time. So, and I just don't understand why people can't. Yeah, you and I won't be around. You know, probably my kids would be okay, but their kids will be screwed. And actually, our kids would actually be very old at that point. They'd be the first ones to go. Maybe that's how they're going to go. Like, can I have a piece of?
They might even not go. They might just have really much more devastating lives, living in much harder conditions, even if they not go. If they lived in first world countries, they might be not dying, but living lower standards lives. But the people then in Iran, Syria, in Africa, in Bangladesh, in India, they might be the ones who are actually dying from starvation.
No, I mean, even in the first world countries, you can't do anything when the number reaches in millions, refugees in millions. Where these people are going to go?
I'm giving you the best. I'm giving you the best case scenario.
No, they don't need the best case scenario. They need the worst case scenario to understand that, because these people think, oh well, so what? So your beach house is gone. Just move inland a little bit. That's it. Problem solved. Yeah, move in. What I just gave you one major example.
There'll be more fish in the sea.
Yeah, Veedu, like me and Harris don't have kids, and we're worried
what's so funny about that? There's more fish.
Yeah, there's more
fishermen. That'll be a new
No, there's not more fish. There's not more fish. The changing conditions will mean that change in temperature, the change of temperatures in water will mean the levels of oxygen is going to be different. The level of sunlight reaching the different parts of the ocean their food supply of the fish is going to change as well. More fish will die. More water doesn't mean more fish.
So can you other than investing in green technology, can you actually give me some actual solutions? Other than saying
that is the only solution,
can you actually give me some solutions?
Unfortunately, that's the only solution.
Green technology, especially nuclear. Nuclear is the solution.
Okay, nuclear solution. Green technology.
But it's dangerous.
What other economic policies could we do to make sure that we are prepared?
That's really the only
working from home. Working from home is good. Working from home is good because we actually. Yeah. Because we actually reduce the footprint. Like we don't need more. We don't need as many trains.
Increase efficiency. Increase efficiency
could you break that down? What does that mean? Increase efficiency.
Like you guys just gave so when I was working in a private equity, I saw if you break down the cheapest source of energy, after fossil fuel is not green technology. It's basically technology that goes into reducing waste. Right, so if you make invest in technology that makes the already existing engines or electronics less wasteful and more efficient when it comes to changing the energy into whatever it's supposed to do,
recyclable, less plastic, all the usual stuff.
And that doesn't slow down the economy either. That actually speeds up economy. If you spend more technology that reduces waste, not only it doesn't slow us down, it actually speeds up the economy as well.
Tesla. What do you think about Tesla, Elon Musk?
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, he's making literally green cars, right?
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah, that's great.
So,
what do you think? Yeah, these are good.
Yeah, it's good. Exactly. So we need more. So we need more capitalism.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I agree with that. Capitalism will save us.
And would you say that usually when the government intervenes, for the economy, which is tied to whether or not how quickly
capitalism doesn't mean the government not intervening. Capitalism really requires government intervention.
We always have regulations. We have SEC. Okay. We're watching Inside Trade, and the government is always watching. What are you talking about?
No, I mean, the government could sometimes come in and speed something up because capitalism has a weakness. It doesn't see positive externalities, right? So the market is blind to people who are affected by trades that are not involved in the trade, right? So the government role in capitalism is to come and subsidize and speed up the parts of the trade.
Can you give me an example of that? Sorry, when you said that the positive externality is not.
So, for example, the market only sees there's two sides of a trade, right? So the understanding is that if me and you go into a trade, both of us are coming out of this trade positively because, or else we wouldn't enter the trade, right? So the more trade, the more well-being will happen. So the government, if that was the case, the government would say up more trade means the society, everything will keep getting better because every time the trade will make both sides better off. However, the issue is that when me and you trade, maybe we are better off. But maybe Harris is being affected by the trade between me and you, and the market. So he's an extra. I will explain. He's an externality, and the market is blind to Harris because he's not in the trade, right? He could be positively impacted by it or negatively, right? So, for example, if me and your trade, like let's say you're the teacher and I'm a student, and you're teaching me, it's not just me and you who's benefiting. Harris is also going to benefit for increased education in society. Harris is also benefiting that, and the market is not seeing that positive effect. Or like if me and your trade is causing pollution, Harris is not in this trade, but he's being affected negatively from this trade, and the market does not see that, right? So there's positive externalities or negative externalities, and the role of the government is to come and increase the trade of me and you if there's a positive externalities beyond what the market would allow, and reduce the trade between me and you if there's negative externalities if the market is blind to that externality. And this is actually capitalism. This is not like, this is like what I'm telling you is what capitalism teaches. It's not like anti-capitalist idea.
Yeah. That's fine. That's for some.
So now you believe it. Now you're good.
No, I've always been. I said from the beginning. I have said climate change is real. I just don't.
You've shown a lot.
You can rewind this if you want.
You've shown a lot.
You can rewind this. You can rewind it. I said I believe.
I'm so proud of your growth. You have shown a lot of character there.
Mate, I said from the beginning.
This is what we can be right. We can be wrong.
I said from the beginning.
I don't think the
war is ending. I don't think the war is ending. I stick to that. It's not the end of the world. He's not even close to the end of the world. We have a 20 million people buffer, for God's sake.
If this was actually,
that's your stats.
There would. I cannot.
That was an example. That was an example, first of all, okay, but that's like it. We don't want that. What are you talking about? We're not like, hey,
let's see what happens.
Okay, let's see. What you're saying is like, if I saved you from like a jail that you were being tortured every day, okay, and now you're free, and now like, and I come and hit you in the hand with the hammer, and you're like, what, hey, man, what are you doing? You're like, hey, you were worse.
You're better than being in prison.
You're better. I have a buffer. I have a huge buffer. You're still around.
I have a buffer of dropping a soap bar in the prison.
Like, what are you talking
about? That would be the absolute worst.
My position. I think that, I'll be honest with you, this is what really annoys me about the whole conversation. And this is, I agree that people like yourself aren't on the extreme left.
I'm in the middle. I'm in the center.
You are, but you do have a very lefty sort of, Jono, let's not get into that. But all I'm saying is, people who are the mainstream, and they are minority, but unfortunately, it's always the minorities that are, for some reason, the most vocal, because they're probably the most extreme, that they view human beings as the cancer, as the virus, as the pollutant, as the main source.
That's your
you can roll your eyes. You can order. You see, in this country, they were literally blocking roads.
Motorways. Those are idiots. Okay, forget about them. They're Wokistanis or idiots, or like the people who throw freaking paint and on painting. Screw them. No, hang on. So why do you have to match yourself with them?
Because that's where the fun is.
No. So that's what it is. That's where the fun is.
Otherwise, what's the point of having a rigorous debate about minutia of like? It's 2021. No, it's 2022.
Do you think Brian Cox? Neil deGrasse Tyson? You reckon these guys who actually genuinely understand these? Hang on, they understand these climate models and they.
One's an astrophysicist. I don't know what he's talking about.
No, but they understand. I'm sure he has probably better understanding of reading a scientific journal than you and I do. Okay, let's just. Oh, right. Okay. Imran Khan. Yeah, there's a mini Imran Khan right here.
Imran Khan.
So hang on. I actually want to share this survey with you.
After this, we need to move on to the next question.
Yeah, very, very quickly. I want to show this major gaps. You've unfortunately fall under this common man problem. U.S. adults, 50% of the U.S. population believe that the Earth is getting warmer because of human activity, but 87% of AAAS scientists believe that it is getting warmer. Not 87% scientists or 50% ordinary people. Sorry, I'm going there. Okay, you have to give respect. So you've already said that you accept that this is happening. You could be unhappy about how it is being done and how that's affecting your life, increased carbon tax or whatever. But even though like it actually hasn't made that much of a difference, but you could be unhappy about that. But at least we can understand the Earth is getting warmer. Our world, a lot of people, our next generation is going to suffer extremely. And then we need to do something about it. We can't just keep farting away. We can't just.
I agree with you with the solutions. We've gone through the solutions. Every single one I've agreed with.
Yeah, but it doesn't. But it's not going to happen for free. So we're going to have to force a government to invest more into cleaner energy. That's the cost. That's the cost we have to pay. So what? You have to pay 20 cents extra on your freaking dollar or 10 cents extra. No, it's actually that.
Elon Musk did it without any government intervention.
Sorry. Yeah, but that's
bull crap.
Yeah,
Elon Musk's government got so many subsidies from the government.
He paid it back. Paid it back quickly. He paid it back. It was not a free subsidy.
But he wouldn't be able to have started. But he wouldn't have government loan much more preferable than like with much preferable interest rates than whatever you gotten from a private equity or a bank. Okay, Elon Musk would have gone bankrupt 10 times over if he didn't get government support.
It was a loan. It wasn't a subsidy.
Yeah, but it's a support. You can
support them through loans. Fine.
Yeah, okay, but it's government involvement in making sure a loan is an investment. So it's a government investment.
Sure.
So without government involvement, stuff like Elon Musk's, cars wouldn't have even picked up the ground. So you need government partnership in this.
I'm okay with that.
Okay, good.
So
that's what I'm saying.
So good.
But it's not the end of the world. That's what I'm saying. And Greta Thunberg still sucks.
Yeah, okay, sure.
It doesn't matter. That's good enough. That's good enough.
Okay, that's good enough. That's it. Alhamdulillah.
He's happy with the investing in clean energy. That's good. He's happy with it.
I'm not against that.
Good.
It's you've caricatured me as some crazy gay frog, Alex Jones.
Well, you caricature all of the positions of the pro.
Yes.
Pro.
Alex Jones can't be.
But I'm allowed to do that.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Then we're allowed to poke fun at you.
Okay. Edris is saying Elon Musk is a piece of SHIT for tanking train infrastructure project. Oh yeah, actually I heard about that. Yeah. Anyways, let's go to the next question. Why is Iran playing war games with Azerbaijan? What the F is going on over there? Yes, there's like a lot of people are not ignoring this. Azerbaijan and Iran might actually go to war. Like we don't know what's going on. Like
guys, 20 million buffer. It's not going to be a problem.
It's not going
to make a dent.
Guys, was the previous sec.
Okay, my bad. It still relates to this, yeah.
It relates. Have you guys heard about this? Do you want me to read this article so you guys are
just a little bit? I didn't know about this. Yeah, just read it a bit.
Okay, tensions escalate between Azerbaijan and Iran. While the Ukraine war dominates global headlines, another conflict is brewing. What did I say? Did I answer that?
No. You said Azerbaijan, but in Urdu, Azhar is a name and Baijan means brother. So we're saying it's an Urdu joke. Azerbaijan meaning Azhar brother. Okay. So yeah,
okay, fine.
Sounds like.
Let me read this. While the Ukrainian war dominates global headlines, another conflict is brewing in the South Caucasus, where Azerbaijan and Iran have grown increasingly hostile since the 2020 Karabakh War. Following Azerbaijan's decisive victory over Armenia, helped by military support from both Israel and Turkey, which is amazing, and Iran. This is one thing that Iran and Israel are on the same
working together on the same page. Yeah, right.
No, team. Iran. No, wait, no, that's not it. Help military support from both Israel and Turkey. No. Iran is on Armenia's side. Israel is on Azerbaijan's side. Sorry, I made a mistake. Okay. Iran came to realize that its security. By the way, that's very bizarre for so many people because Iran is a majority Shia and Azerbaijan is also majority Shia. So you see, in this situation, ethnic conflicts is stronger than religious ones, right? Because Iran is actually taking on Armenia's side against Azerbaijan's side because Azerbaijan, being right next to Iran's border, has Turkish people that might want Iran's Azerbaijan section to secede and join the bigger Azerbaijan. So Iran is very worried about secessionist movements along its borders, right? So Azerbaijan is Shia and Turkish. So Shiism is like Iran, but its Turkish nature is like Turkey, right? So even though it's Shia, it's closer to Turkey than it is to Iran. So Turkey and Azerbaijan are uniting against Iran. So here you see ethnicity is playing a much stronger role in who's allying with who.
Iran and Turkey. I don't know about this, but I thought Iran and Turkey would be on favorable terms. No,
not over this. Not over this.
But in other stuff, are they?
Depends. Which stuff?
I mean, like Israel, for example.
No, and Israel, they're not. They're actually competing against who's the bigger pro-Palestinian supporter. So they're competing over that as well, right? Okay. no, they're very much over these issues. Turkey and Iran are very much like have been following, or like they've been enemies since 2020 over this issue. Okay, there are a lot of Turks that would like to see one day the Turkish parts of Iran to like come back to like the Turkish motherland or whatever they call it.
Wow.
Right? Yeah. Following so I read this part. Iran came to realize that its security along the northern border was at risk. Especially because Israel is using this as a way to get close to Iran. Like, why Israel is so much interested in Azerbaijan? Some people are saying it's because it's right at Iran's border. So Israel is using this as an excuse to come closer and closer to Iran's border, and that's what makes the Iranian officials very nervous. As the war risks cutting it off from a key regional ally in Yerevan. Oh, yeah. Where Tehran seemed willing to accept the inevitability of Azerbaijan regaining the Karabakh region, which the United Nations officially recognizes as part of Azerbaijan. The Islamic Republic has raised concerns over frequent. This is bad grammar. Concerns over frequent the new. This is bad grammar, isn't it?
What the hell is going on right now?
That's a bad
end of the world, not bloody.
This is not correct.
Who wrote this? Who wrote this article?
Probably a leftist.
Julian McBride. He's a
Scottish.
Scottish.
Along Armenia's.
Oh, speak English, mate. Speak Scottish. Makes fucking sense when I see it.
Okay, let's read it from here. This renewed assault by Azerbaijan has caused no small amount of alarm, not just from Iran, but also the United States and France. The encroachments approach one of Tehran's red lines in the possible redrawing of the borders of the Caucasus. Yes, this is what I'm saying. Redrawing of that's what they're worried about. An outcome that is frequently hinted in rhetoric from they're actually suggesting this. Hinted in rhetoric from President Aliyev and Erdogan concerning pan-Turkic expansion. Like sometimes they hint to this very indirectly. Sometimes like they sing songs about places that are in Iran. Okay? So they're like, what the hell? Like Iran is like, what are you guys talking about? Like that's our land, right? A redrawing would present new geopolitical problems for Iran. Among them is the disruption of an ancient trade route through Armenia that has been active for thousands of years. Azerbaijan has made no secret of its animosity toward Iran since its 2020 war with Armenia, going so far as to highlight maps of Greater Azerbaijan. You see, whenever you see greater something, that means like some people are trying to expand. That feature parts of Iran's northern provinces. Iran is home to around 16 million Azeris. Azeris is a type of Turk, okay, who are concentrated in the northwest of the country along the Azerbaijan border. It doesn't actually help. Yeah.
Go on. Sorry. It's like another Ukraine situation where they ethnically, some parts are like more closer to
very similar. That's a very good comparison, okay? Especially because the province in Iran that is right next to Azerbaijan, guess what that province is called? Azerbaijan.
Oh, great.
So Azerbaijan is a country, and
can't they just change the name?
Yeah. So there's an Azerbaijan province in Iran that is right next to Azerbaijan, so that doesn't help.
Anyways, Iranians are not good with naming conventions. We're going, yeah. If only we'd called it something else, they wouldn't have been like, oh shit, maybe we should join this country.
Yeah, so anyways, this is like, there's actually a lot more that is happening in the past 2 days. I don't know, I'm not going to read this, but I'm just going to highlight it. I'm just going to show you the title of this. Azerbaijan arrests Iran-backed militias. So this was just like 3 days ago. So there's that. You know, so this is like it's escalating. I don't know what's going to happen.
Doesn't this disprove the whole like narrative of like diversity? It doesn't matter if you're in Europe or in the Middle East. You want to be with your ethnic group, and people will go to war over this kind of stuff.
No, that's actually not true. Actually, the more people are mixed, the less stuff like this happens.
You're talking about in some metropolitan cities, but the whole world is not New York or London.
Yeah, but okay, so if, like, for example, if in a geography, like if you separate the ethnicities from each other, like these ethnicities live over there, these ethnicities live over there, and they're not mixed with each other, then there's more reason for conflict between ethnicities, right? But if there's no barriers between them, if they don't have like their own ghettos and their own sections, and they're just mixing, they're shopping together, they're going to school with each other, they're working with each other, in those areas you actually see less and actually less desire for it to be like living with your own ethnicity. People would care less and less. They don't see my people as like my ethnicity. That desire would be reduced, and it has been like this through history. Like it's not just like metropolitan areas like New York or London. Actually,
Rome.
London less, maybe. Yeah, like Rome, yeah, or Baghdad. Like in Baghdad, because people were mixing so much, people didn't really care much about like different ethnicity. And also in Spain, like in Muslim Spain, they didn't even care about because different religions were there as well. They didn't care about Jewish, Christian. They were like, well, we're just all like doing philosophy together. So. Yeah, no mixing. Actually, the left Veedu is right about this. The more mixing of different people. So.
No, I'm not even trying to be funny. I'm not even trying to be funny. I think, and this was in the UK, came out about 3-4 years ago, where this was actually London. Because fine, at work you work with people of all races and all, whatever. But they that's probably an astrophysicist scientist who said that, and he go. And he hasn't got the date for his thing anyway. But he was saying that what's his name? Trevor? I can't remember his last name. But he was saying
Noah.
That no, it wasn't him. No, it wasn't. It wasn't a comedian. But people, when they choose to socialize, they usually socialize with people of the same race. At work is different because you have to work with whoever you want to work with. You have to work with that. But when most people, when they leave work,
that's true. But that desire is reduced the more people are mixed with each other. So that desire is there, but it's reduced when you mix people together.
I mean, if you look at what happened in Leicester, Pakistanis and Indians living side by side, but when something happens, automatically they split.
No. You have.
Yeah, but they're not mingling. But that means they're not mingling with each other, because if they did,
they live in the same neighborhood.
And also,
but they're not mingling.
Also,
but they're still not
mingling.
You are also. You're also giving examples of people that look exactly like each other, by the way. So that's not a really good example. these are exactly the same mixed ethnicities of Pakistanis and Indians.
We're different. We're different.
Sure.
No, we look the same.
So you can see how you could actually see this is this. So we're saying ideologies, are more powerful than ethnicities. Ideologies could separate from people from each other. But you just literally
said that the Azaz are Shia, the Iran are Shia, so the ideology is the same, but they've gone with ethnicity over ideology. It's the opposite of what you just said.
But over there, Shia ideology in Azerbaijan is not very much highlighted. So for example, Shiism in Azerbaijan is not something that is used as a weapon. The Shia identity is not as strong of an identity for the Azerbaijan government. In fact, it's the opposite. They try to tone that down in Azerbaijan, right? And they try to increase because they're getting a lot of support from Turkey. They try to play that up because it's playing in their favor, right? I'm pretty sure if Iran was a bigger ally to Azerbaijan, they would work on they will emphasize the Shia element,
so
right?
Azerbaijan are just going for the highest bidder.
Yeah, but the guy who's the person.
You guys are such slags, honestly.
But here's the thing. I agree with you. With you, Veedu, that ideologies could separate people from each other, right? You could, but it shows that how even people who have the same ethnicities could be driven apart. So you're saying, people want to be with the people like that who are like them. But we're saying that no, if you give people the wrong idea, even people who look like you see them as enemies if they have the wrong ideas, even if have the same exact ethnicity as you. So it's about what you can make people believe that we can get along, and you can make people believe that we have to be separate regardless of what they look like. So we could opt in for let's make people believe that they can get along.
Yeah, I think I do agree partly as someone from a mixed race marriage or whatever you want to call it, but that comes at a cost. It comes at a cost. It's not.
Well, the kid doesn't look like you. That's the cost.
No, oh my god, not that kind of cost, you joker. I mean, like your parents and the culture, and it's you can't marry, bro.
That's a good thing.
I remember when I was younger, I was in Pakistan, and one of my aunties, someone proposed to her. So we are ethnically blah 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 Kashmiri, whatever. The guy who proposed to her, he was Pathan. He was still from Pakistan, but he was Pathan. Like that was a problem. Oh my god, what's gonna happen? How do they eat? How do they sleep? How do they piss? What's this? What's that? We can't mix Kashmiri with Pathan, this, that, and the other. Now, alhamdulillah, they're married. But I'm saying even something as small as that.
How's their marriage going?
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. They're fine wherever it is. But I'm saying,
but it's very flexible. Like what you're saying is part of it's cultural and it's based on belief system, right? The idea of could we get along or should we separate people? It's not something that is like biologically inherent like that. As many
I think it is.
try to.
I think it is.
No, well, okay, no, it is, but it's not necessarily based on race, but it could be based on other things. It could be like based on more. It could be based on more useful things. It could be based on like, oh, we're both, I don't know, believe in science, or we both are part of this team, or we both like working on this project together, or we're both like Game of Thrones fans. Like I understand that humans have this innate and natural desire to build tribes, right? I'm just saying what the excuse is for us to be united or separated is a lot more flexible. Like a lot of right-leaning people, because they have racist motivations, they want to make it seem like it has to be based on racial lines. Like because we have these innate desires, that line is racial, but it doesn't have to be racial.
Let's move on.
Yeah, okay.
I've got a feedback for Veedu. Khadija is making pretty hard-hitting comments, and I think she doesn't understand who Veedu is. So she's got this man, and that's obviously not me or Armin. It's
because I'm the only real man in the conversation. That's why.
There you go. Patriarchy. Patriarchy.
The alpha silverback. Go on.
This man is clearly sexist.
Yes, recognize.
Judging from his previous comments, now he's threatening a young girl with violence.
Wow! Oh my God!
You said you're coming for her. You say you.
I'm coming for you, Greta. I haven't changed my mind.
How is your promoting this?
Greta Thunberg is like okay. No.
How
he didn't.
Yeah, no,
you are promoting this.
You're clearly misunderstanding.
Islam has, oh my goodness! This.
No,
this is the literal leftist caricature that I was talking about. Me saying I don't like Greta Thunberg or saying in a joke I'm coming for you now is violence against Greta Thunberg.
Yeah, I know that's a bit. So Khadija hang on. Let's read all of the comments.
Go on.
So she's saying, by the way, Khadija obviously she doesn't know you, so she's probably misunderstanding. So please don't badmouth my subscribers. Yeah, no, she hasn't. She hasn't understood you yet. So the more she hears you, then she'll probably get it. You've had Islamists on this channel with more knowledge on climate change than this. That's a burn. That's a burn. Oh my God. You go, Khadija. You tell him.
Khadija, I'm coming for you now. For Greta Thunberg, you're off the list. Khadija, you're on the list.
Hey, that's a joke. Yes, a joke, guys. We don't really mean it. Be careful with YouTube.
Why do I have to keep saying as a joke every time?
Because YouTube is crazy. YouTube might take it seriously.
Last time, since you've been here,
you mean you're coming for her arguments, okay? You're coming for her arguments.
Yeah, sure. No, I'm coming for her very expensive house on the coast. If you don't want it, if the world's going to be
I'm serious.
Under the water,
I know you're joking. I know you're joking, but YouTube doesn't mess around.
You got to be careful, Veedu, because
YouTube has. Yeah.
So YouTube is now a leftist. This is what you're saying, sensitive SJW.
Yes.
But then I'm right then.
No, you're not right.
Okay, but can you clarify? Can you clarify that whether or not what you're saying was a joke? Can you clarify?
Yeah, of course it's a joke. Just say it. Just say it is a joke.
Say it.
I was like, please, I don't want to come on our channel. Okay. This is for all the sensitive soy vegans out there that can't handle a joke. Okay, this is a joke. There you go. You happy? Hush.
We're happy.
Calm down.
Thank you. yeah. So
Jesus.
Don't threaten
Yes.
people, please.
Oh
So,
my God,
yeah,
Khadija, man.
no,
you,
but- no,
you
but-
nearly
no, but
blew up the
Veedu-
whole channel. You're gonna report me to the UN. You're gonna report me to Amnesty. I found someone who's after Greta Thunberg. He's in his mum's basement. Oh my God.
Oh my god.
His
His name is Veedu.
and it doesn't do Veedu.
And we can't do wudu because there's no water. Yom al Qiyamah, I'm gonna have to wipe myself with a rock. Go on.
Not there. You're not. That's not the right place to use the rock.
How can there be no water and then we're gonna be flooded at the same time? Can you someone explain?
It's salt water.
There's no water.
It's salt
but
water.
Everything is flooded. It's like,
Oh my
okay.
god, Veedu, are you serious
Your
right
bum,
now?
your bum's gonna feel salty. you don't want salt up your bum.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my
Can you
God.
not tell the difference?
Harris Sultan
There's no
search for
water,
a
but we're
reasonable.
flooded.
Harris Sultan search for a reasonable co-host like Nuya Khan. You actually knew that she was talking about instead calling clowns every week who say more water means fish.
Oh my god.
More water means fish. I know I'm saying it would be nice if Harris searched for a reasonable person to be his co-host instead of calling random people who don't know what they're talking about.
Girl, you don't know me. You don't know.
You don't know.
You
Harris
don't
Sultan-
know.
Harris Sultan, even Engineer Mirza would have given you a better
Oh
take
my
on climate change than this
Astaghfirullah.
Veedu guy.
Oh my God.
So, by the way, so let me just explain this, Khadija. So, Veedu is an ex-Muslim, and he used to run a very popular channel a few years ago, and then he got busy with it, and he does it. So he has all these views that you would find that you would agree with. But obviously, the whole point is, and this is why I'm sitting in the middle, because I'm representing the center. Veedu is representing the right, and Armin is obviously far left. so this is why we're doing it. So and I reckon we had a very good conversation about the climate change, and I reckon we ended up agreeing about everything except for the end of the world. I mean,
other than the whole.
But you agree that we need to do something. But
I agree. I don't
yeah. So there you go.
I think I have a very good way of trying to get people realize that we agree with each other and disagree. Because I think sometimes the way you treat people from the left or right or Muslims or Hindus, the way that you fight, it actually keeps making the discussion farther away. But I think you have to highlight the things that we agree on, and you just build upon that, and that's the more constructive discussion. But
also, but also, Khadija, my precious little snowflake. I'm saying this for comedic purposes. I hope you understand that as a comedian, even if I don't agree with something, I will still advocate it because I'm taking the piss.
Yes.
Okay,
and he's allowed to do it, and I think he's allowed to
alhamdulillah, I'm allowed to do it. Alhamdulillah, so it's okay. Yeah, it's fine. Just because I actually agree with that. I agree with that statement. Just because you're ex-Muslim, he doesn't mean he's smart. No, I 100% agree with that.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
I don't know most of the stuff that I'm talking about.
Nobody said that, though. Who said that?
No, it's fine. It's fine. I mean,
who said because Veedu is smart because he's an ex-Muslim?
No. She said that just because he's an ex-Muslim doesn't mean he's smart.
Yeah, but nobody made that claim, though.
Trust me, no one's ever said that. It's fine. Unfortunately, but there you go. But it's fine. This is just a joke.
Can we play one of your parody songs or YouTube?
Wait, we're gonna run out of time.
Very quickly, 2 minutes.
Khadija, just go type in Veedu Vidz. That's what you got to do in YouTube. Just type in Veedu Vidz and then have a browse.
Look at this. Halal version.
What's this?
Oh, wait, is it?
I stay up too late. That's what people say.
That's embarrassing. Watch my own stuff.
People say I eat too many dates, but I can't make them stay. That's what people say. That's what people say. But I keep teaching. Can't stop, won't stop preaching. It's like I got this message in my mind saying it's gotta be halal. Cause I'm just going to pray.
Okay.
The disbelievers going to hate. Habibi, I'm just going to shake. Shake it off.
So you find a lot of. You get the point. So you find a lot of.
Oh wait. when we bring it back.
Parody songs, yeah, that'd be good. So just guys check out his channel. You
Veedu
might
Vidz,
end up
go
agreeing
and
with him more
subscribe.
than yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's funny.
All right.
All right, last question, and then we're gonna see if anybody wants to come up. Actually, let me.
She doesn't like you.
Wish your video, wish his videos you're showing were as funny. Okay, we got a comedian in the house. We got a comedian in the house.
We got a
Nice one,
comedian.
comedian.
Battle of
House.
comedians. Oh my
We got a
god.
comedian in the house. Real recognize real. It's fine.
But by the way, this is very politically incorrect to comment on his face. Even though I
Is
agree, it is one hell of a
It
funny
is a funny
face.
face. 100%. Can I just say the reason why my face is funny? Science. You guys like science, right? So I did a 23andMe test, and my genes said that you are in the top 10% of people with the highest level of Neanderthal genes.
Oh, so you're close.
So if you look
closer
from the
to
side, I don't
end.
know if you can see it from the side. I look like a Neanderthal. I don't know if you can see that. For the,
I've never seen a
Right.
real Neanderthal.
so
in
you're
my
actually
life.
being speciesist against me when you
Oh.
say that I have a funny face.
Oh.
You're
Yeah.
speaking to a rare ancestor here. Your people colonized me. You do realize that, right?
No, we're not Europeans, man.
No.
So
I'm talking. No Europeans. I'm talking
like the
humans
whole
versus
species.
Neanderthals.
Oh yeah, the whole
Oh,
yeah.
so,
If you
you
put
know,
it,
okay.
yeah, if you put it as Homo
Yeah.
sapiens, yeah.
Neanderthal was the real N word. But anyway, let's not get
Well,
into
yeah, you
Yeah.
should have evolved faster.
that. Oh, now you're evolution shaming me. Shame on you. Shame on you. Look at this. Global. I hope you guys die global warming. You guys killed us. I hope you now get it as well. You and your green technology.
Oh.
Suck out.
Hey, that's
I
not
can't- I
actually
can't understand-
conspiracy. We didn't kill Neanderthals. We actually
Yeah, but I can't
This is
understand how.
revisionist. revisionist.
But I
history.
don't. No, but I can't understand. But I can't understand how some Homo sapiens were actually mating with Neanderthal females.
Yeah.
I mean, that's.
And they said we raped them. We didn't rape them. It was mutual. And
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, imagine a
recent-
Neanderthal woman just going through these European jungles or something, and she sees a Homo sapien, and she'd be like, "Whoa, this dude is," because Homo sapiens are better looking than Neanderthals. I mean, surely. So she'd be like, "That's a catch."
That's a catch.
We got a super chat. I don't know on whose channel, but it says Veedu is love. Thank you,
It
AM,
is
for the
love.
super chat.
You hear that, Khadija?
All right, guys. I posted a link to a Secular Jihadists member from YouTube. Secular Jihadists YouTube members on the community tab. If anybody wants to come up and ask any questions live on air, but you have to keep it very, 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 very short and to the point. Okay. Also, here's the last question.
I just want to show this. Just carry on with that comment. Imagine a Neanderthal female starting a Me Too movement, and this is after Bester said some men will burn anything with a hole. I'm not surprised.
Exactly.
Obviously, that's a comment about.
Hey,
men
that's
having
an
sex with-
anti-Neanderthal. But hey, Neanderthals were by so many metrics
Sexy.
better than us. No,
Sexy,
better.
so
Like they
you
were
want-
by so many metrics better than
How?
us, Homo sapiens.
How?
They were
How?
calmer. They were more rational.
We
they were
actually don't
more-
know any of that. We actually don't know
Well,
any of that.
that's what I heard. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm a living
I mean-
example of someone who's calmer and more rational. Clearly, you guys.
Yeah, right. Clearly.
This is my human side acting up. Sorry. Yeah.
All right, here, last question. I'll keep this one short. Saying, what do you think of Iran's top Sunni cleric calling for uniting with unbelievers? How significant is this? Very significant. So this guy, this is the Jome Imam of Sistan of Zaidan, which is the Sunni province, a city, the major city in the Sunni province of Iran, Sistan Baluchistan. This is a Sunni area of Iran, and this is where most of the killing by the government has been happening. Like, as much as you hear about like young boys and girls being shot to death in the rest of Iran, most of it is happening in this guy's backyard. Like usual, because the government oppresses minorities in Iran a lot more. The Kurdish region, for example, is getting a lot of death, and the Sunni region in Iran also gets a lot of like the killings, right? Because the Iranian government is trying to put Sunnis against Shias or Kurds against other Iranians as a way to start a war so that people get distracted from the actual protests. And that's why a lot of the people from this part of Iran have higher number of victims, right? And this guy, this guy doesn't have a good history, by the way. He used to support the Taliban. I'm suspecting he has changed his views, but given that he now supports like unbelievers, like in his recent speech, is like Iran should be for everybody, and unbelievers for the first time got a mention, because usually they say like, oh, Shias and Sunnis and Christians and Baha'is and everybody, and we never get a mention. This time we actually got like He said like, even people who don't believe in God, they're Iranians, and we should support them, and blah blah blah. What? This guy was like very, very religious, right? So it was very impressive for us to get a mention in his in his sermon, and he's like, his life is in danger. Like, he has come heavy. Like, he has mentioned Khamenei as responsible for the killings. That's a very bold move, right? And they don't dare kill him right now, because if this man, like, a lot of people have warned that the day that this man is like, some people have said like, if this man lost one hair because of the government attack on him, people say we will come, and they follow this guy like a messiah or something, like he's a religious leader. And so many people have promised that they said they will wipe the whole province with blood if this man is hurt even a little bit. That's how popular this is. That's why the government is afraid of attacking him, right? But a lot of Iranian atheists took note that he mentioned us, atheists, Iranian atheists. The problem is that some people are like, hey, don't be too excited. Khomeini said some beautiful things also before the Islamic Revolution about women's rights, about democracy, about liberalism. But once he came to power, all of a sudden he started theocracy. They say like, oh, atheists, you're getting so excited over this guy. But this is what religious people do when they're like not in power. They say beautiful things about other people, and then when they are in power, they actually like, these people, this same guy would come and kill you if he could. Like, I'm not saying who is right. I'm just telling you what people are saying. They say it's just like Muhammad. It's like a Mecca phase and the Medini phase, and this guy, because he's not in power, is in his Mecca phase, just like Khomeini, just like Muhammad. But anyways, I'm not making any claims. I'm just telling you what people are saying. Anyway, do you guys have any views on this? No? Okay. So the question is like, how significant is this? Very significant, because there's a distance between the Sunnis there was a gap, there's a major wall between the Sunni movement against the regime and the secular movement against the regime. And now there seems to be an attempt to be a bridge being made, and forces coming together, just like the Kurds and everyone else. This was the farthest movement again, because like, if you look at the protests in Iran, it's about women taking off their hijab, burning their hijab, and saying no to Islam, and these people being against the regime. This is partly one of the most religious part of Iran, even though they're Sunni. So it seemed like there wouldn't be any union between the secularists and Sunnis, and this comment seems to suggest we're moving in that direction, which is very worrisome for the regime, that even these people can unite with each other. So that's my answer. Anyway, short answer so that we could we don't have anything else. That was the last question.
I have one thing. How about I show you something? Our latest celebrity Muslim brother, Andrew Tate.
Oh wow.
He said something very interesting. Look at this. Look what he says. He says,
I agree with you. And now that I'm religious, I can't wait till I start doing podcasts with atheists, because I was the number one atheist.
He can't wait to have a chat with an atheist because he was a number one atheist.
Mr. Atheist. And now I realize that I was completely wrong.
Do you think part of that
100%
no, but for me,
100% wrong. He's 100% certain that atheism is wrong and there is a God. So, brother Andrew, I'm pretty sure soon I don't know. This is $1 million question. We don't know whether he's going to go out with a bang or with a whimper. Is he going to be like, hey, I'm an ex-Muslim, screw all of you, I just came here to steal some Muslim fanboys, and now instead of the cult of Islam, they've joined this cult of Andrew Tate? Or he might just quietly fizzle away. He's like, why say it? I don't know if he knows any of this. He's a smart guy, but I reckon he's probably more business-minded than just religious-minded or whatever. But anyway, Andrew, if you watch this video, all of us atheists would love to have a chat with you. I reckon, you've become religious and you've accepted Islam. And I don't think, and you said it yourself in your conversation with Muhammad Hijab, by the way, this well done, by the way, because we've never seen Muhammad Hijab always tries to intimidate the person he's talking to, but he didn't try to intimidate you. You were balls deep. So well done. You were clearly the alpha male in that conversation. But yeah, so you said in that conversation that you don't know much about Islam yourself. There's so many this and that, which is quite remarkable, because you got in trouble defending your statement that your sister is her husband's property, and they were like, oh no, this is not what I meant. No, this is. But Islam, your new religion, literally says the men are a degree over women. Men are the maintainers of women. You can beat your wives. You can have sex slaves. All of these things. How are you going to defend those things? That would be very interesting, because whether you know it or not, whether you look the other way, you're like, oh no, I just like the spiritual aspect of it, whatever, or Islam, I don't know. But I think that's going to be one hell of a conversation. So any one of us, you're more than welcome to come and have a chat with. Obviously, we'll treat you with respect. What do you reckon? What do you boys reckon? You reckon Andrew Tate would talk to us?
I think so.
Nah, I don't think so. I think he's a coward. He doesn't want to have real conversation with people who would challenge him. If you are not a coward, contact Harry Sultan, Andrew Tate. If you want, because I think he just has discussions with people that will just like,
No, this is like this. Oh yeah. The OG,
Top G.
And
I mean, he recently had a discussion with Hassan, and Hassan just destroyed him. Like, it was embarrassing. This man can't have a debate. That's why he surrounds himself with just people who agree with him. But if he's not a coward, because he acts like he's a fighter, but he's a pussy. But if you're actually a fighter, like, maybe contact Harris. How can he contact you if he's interested?
I don't know. Well, you can just send me an email, harsultanxmuslim@gmail.com. You can go to my website, harsultan.com. There's a contact form, or Twitter. Well, I don't know if he's been taken off Twitter or not. By the way, he's been cancelled from a lot of platforms, and a lot of us actually don't agree with that. But that's a different topic. So I don't know.
I don't think he would do, because usually people who act like they're the toughest and the alpha male, they're actually the most pathetic and the most weakest ones, right? So I don't think he's going to take your offer. But if he wants to show us that that's not the case.
Well, here's what he's going to say. He's going to say, "Oh, you guys are peasants. You guys are trying to get famous under my name."
Good excuse.
That's always the same excuse. They always say that. Yeah. It's the same excuse. They always say that. They always say the same thing. What's his name? Zakir Naik used to say this.
Exactly what a coward would say.
Unless Zakir Naik used to say that, unless you can bring up 10,000 people, you can fill an arena with 10,000 people, I'm not going to have a chat with you. And now his videos barely get 5,000 views. That's Zakir Naik, Veedu. He gets absolutely nothing now. But yeah, that's a good way of evading a conversation or challenging ideas. But so I also don't think. But I just thought that I'll just put it out there. Let's see if he takes up the offer.
Sounds good. All right, guys, we're going to end the stream here. Make sure if you're watching this on Secular Jihadists, make sure you subscribe. And then after you subscribe, go to Harris Sultan channel and subscribe to Harris Sultan channel. And then after that, go to Vidz channel and subscribe to Vidz channel.
And go to Secular Jihadists channel and subscribe his channel too. Like if you're watching on my channel. So, yeah.
Yes. We're streaming this in all 3 channels so that you could all see it wherever.
So no call. You're starting your next stream with Susanna shortly?
Yeah, very soon. I'm starting. On Atheist Republic in about 53 minutes. We're starting.
Oh, in 53 minutes. So we can't take a call?
I posted a link if you want to bring somebody up.
Zagros, I sent you. I sent you a message on Twitter with the link. He's my patron. I just can't be bothered.
Yeah. So if you want to come up, you either have to be a YouTube member on Secular Jihadists or a patron on Harris Sultan's Patreon account.
Just one call and then we got to wrap up.
Yeah. Either one of these ways, if you want to come up.
Guys, you can always show love and your appreciation with super chats by becoming patron, and or if you can't do any of that, just like and share.
Yes. Veedu, so your channel is now active now, by the way. This is like a stream going on in your channel after a long time. So a lot of people.
Yeah, we had like 30, 40 people. We have 20 people watching consistently. 20, 25 people.
It's good.
Yeah.
Hey, Zagros.
We can't hear you.
We can't hear you what you're saying. Zagros is the name of certain mountains in Iran. You guys know that? The major mountains in western Iran.
Zagros, I can't hear you, man.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, yeah.
Now we can hear you.
Okay, cool. So I disagree with all 3 of you when it comes to the trans issue and the renewable energy, etc., and climate.
Pick one of them.
Armin, you pick it. Which one should we go for?
Trans issues, because Veedu loves it. Veedu loves that issue.
Fun.
Okay. So
we don't know. He might be on your side. estrogen, no?
Yeah. So I think, by the way, on this I agree most with Veedu, but then yeah. So
Big up.
I don't think we should. I don't think we should use the woman for every trans woman who claims to be a woman by default. I think it has to be a case-by-case matter. So, for example, if I have a friend who tells me that they are trans, and I know for a fact that they are not just trying to get at me or trap me or just fuck with me, if I see that they are sincere, I will say, look, let's first agree, if she is a trans woman, you are not a female, you are a male, and you will never be able to convince me unless the scientific community demonstrates it, that you are a female. But because I want to respect you and I want to treat you with dignity, I am willing to act and agree with you in your pursuit of this asymptotical approach towards the opposite sex, whether it be your voice, your name, your pronouns, your appearance, etc. I'm willing to act and play the same game as you.
Wait, so hold on. So I think I agree and disagree with you. Okay. First of all, I think the criteria for who you would call a woman is the same criteria I have. A sincere trans person that is telling you that they want to be a woman or a man. Okay. So sincerity, obviously.
Because
You're saying that she needs to be able to demonstrate it biologically.
No, he didn't say that. He said
he said that.
I said unless the scientific community.
No, he said about the female.
Consensus. Yeah. So I'm saying, look, you are a male. Unless the scientific community somehow comes out and says that.
Zagros, let me make my point. Okay.
Yeah.
We are talking regarding gender and regarding sex. Okay. So regarding sex, you're telling the person biologically they're still male. Okay. Regarding gender, regarding gender, you are agreeing that a sincere trans person, you would agree that their gender would be a woman, even though their sex would be male. So, and your criteria for the gender change is that they're a sincere trans person. Okay. So I think we agree on this. Okay. However, Okay. However, I don't think you need to necessarily go to them. Okay, if you agree with me, then somebody who sincerely is changing their gender, then you agree with the gender that they prefer. You will call them a woman, even though you're saying that they're male because they are. I don't see why it is necessary for me to go and remind them that their sex does not change. That just seems unnecessary and impolite to me. All right.
So I think the reminder is important because it's as a matter of principle. So if you act in a certain way a long enough time, you might actually start believing and replacing a truth with the act itself. So what I'm saying is
transgender people, the vast majority of trans people know. I think you guys have been exposed to too much wacko leftist people. Okay.
See, Armin, you keep saying that, but that's not an argument.
Let me just tell you.
That's
the
true.
vast majority,
I agree with him. I agree with exactly.
The vast majority of trans people know that their biology, their chromosome is still XX or XY. They know that their sex has not changed. Okay,
and I don't know why you're telling.
Okay, so why would you remind them of something that they don't like to?
It's not a matter of reminding.
Exactly. Well, fuck the principle. What principle? What principle is it? Like if I tell you my name is Baruka, and then you're gonna say, just for a matter of principle, this Baruka name does not belong to any culture. It sounds like you've made that up. But I just thought before I start calling you Baruka, I just wanted to put it out there. Like it's irrelevant. If someone says, "Hey,
that's a disanalogy, Haris Bhai."
How?
That's not an accurate analogy because names are arbitrary. I can make up a name for my child, or I can change my name.
But they're cultures.
But when
they derive from cultures.
Huh?
Names
are actually not that.
Let me give you a better example. Let's say a handicapped person, okay, goes and gets a surgery and they get like a bionicle arm, okay?
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, this is great.
Let
But
me-
I want to remind you that you're still a handicapped person.
That's a better
And you will
example.
never have a real arm. What the hell?
Same.
No,
That's
see, you are-
That's a good one. That's a good one, Armin.
Disabled
got it.
people, friend.
See, you have been doing this to one another since the beginning of the stream. You have
Exactly.
not let one another develop and formulate their thoughts fully, and you have been strawmanning one another's argument.
How's that strawman?
So
This
look,
is an
I'm
example.
not
That's
saying-
not
This is
how
an example,
strawman
man.
works. A
That's
strawman
an
is like
example.
this is an
It's,
example.
my
Zagros,
argument is
Zagros, before you take off your clothes, I would like to remind both Armin and Harris that you are straw men, but I will pretend as if you are real men, okay?
no.
Because that's what you have been doing to me. All right, the whole
My
time.
argument is you say that just for the matter of fucking principle. What difference does it make? What principle
But
do you want to
have
have
not let
in
me
someone else's
finish.
life?
Ek minute, sabr karo.
Well, you need
Very
to
good,
faster.
very good, very good.
Douglas, make your points faster.
Bro, if you hurry, like if you cut me off or if you panic me, like it's not gonna work. Look,
Exactly.
it's not a matter of reminding the person constantly that they are a male and not a female. As a matter of principle, it's about establishing boundaries. It's about agreeing on reality. So one can say, okay, but male and female categories are also arbitrary, but they are not. Taxonomically speaking, there's a significance to the male and female division.
We
So we have
know
to-
that.
I know that.
Why are you
But
making
can I
that
finish?
point?
I'm
No,
coming
I-
to the point.
Okay, make it the point. But you're saying things that we're all in agreement of. So like I don't know what's the point of making that point. But go on.
I know, but like I haven't reached my conclusion yet.
Yeah,
I'm
but
laying
if you
the
want,
premises and
okay, go on.
if you don't have time, I can leave and come back some other
No,
time.
no, hurry
but
up,
Oh
hurry up,
my
otherwise,
hurry
I'd
God,
like to
this
finish
is
Hurry
my
up,
how
hurry up.
thought.
Douglas.
Yeah.
This is how we
Yeah.
talk. We
See,
go back
Veedu,
and
these
forth. We
leftists,
interrupt each
that's
other.
how they do, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. That's I left you. We always interrupt you, but go on, please.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
And they tell us we're sensitive. We're telling us the leftists we're sensitive. You're
Yeah,
about to cry. You're about to cry, Zagros, over the fact that I'm not like having a back and forth discussion with you. Like this is okay. Go on.
No, like
You
Go
want
on,
a safe
finish it.
space to make. You want a safe space to make your points.
how about
Nobody-
how about I give
Say
an
it.
actual example?
Okay.
Okay, give us an example.
How about I
us
give an
example.
actual example?
Yeah, give us an example.
So I have a friend. Her name is Jude. She is a female from Palestine. I was introduced to Jude by her male cousins who were my friends. And before the introduction, I guess for me to not hit on his cousin, my friend told me that she was a lesbian. So I said, okay, like whatever, you know, fine. So we are sitting together and I'm having debates with my two friends about Islam and how Islam itself would make it such that their beloved cousin, the lesbian woman, would suffer under it. So I'm trying to convince them. And every time I say the word lesbian, I can see that Jude is getting angrier and angrier, even though I'm kind of like trying to convince them that what Islam had done to her. She sought political asylum, you know, moved out of her country and whatnot. So it turns out she wasn't a lesbian, but she identifies as non-binary. So I said, look, I'm sorry, I didn't know. It's your own cousin who told me that, you know, you are a lesbian. Now that I know, like, it's okay, like, that's how I'll call you. So she has her pronouns, they, them, which I don't agree with. Because her justification for her being non-binary is that she chooses to not identify as female nor as male. So I said, look, you not identifying as a male nor a female is irrelevant because we don't have to call it male and female. Let's call it tomato and potato. I am a tomato. If I, as a tomato, had, you know, copulated with you, would we be potentially able to produce offspring? She said, like, I never want to have children. I said, that's irrelevant. Just biologically, are we compatible chemically such that me, a tomato, would have sex with you and we would produce an offspring?
Okay, I think
She
we got
said
your point.
yes.
I think we got your point.
So-
I just
The
explains
reason
about
why
biology.
we can't, the reason why we
Biology,
can't
my
let
ass.
you make your point because
But
you
I
keep
didn't
going
finish
on
my
this.
point.
But you don't ever finish your point.
You never finish your point. We get your point. We get your point, Zagros. But listen to this. Zagros, listen to this.
You cannot get my point because I haven't made my point.
Okay, hurry up then. Hurry up. Okay, hurry up.
Hurry up.
See, I'm saying, look, you can call yourself non-binary, but it doesn't change the fact that you are actually a female. What you are actually trying to tell me is that you don't want to act in ways.
We get it. That's your point. We get it. Your point is you're not a fucking female. That's what you're trying to say. Yeah, that's the point. We get it. That was the point. We got it at the start. Okay.
Zagros, let me give you a tip when you make discussions like this, okay? Start with the point and then bring us the reasons for why you believe in that point. So people know, because you're like, hold my hand and go to this journey where we don't know where we're going to be.
Like, you're moving us into this. Armin,
but Zagros, we have to cut you off because we think we know where you're going and you're saying we're wrong. So make your point first, then bring us the back how you want to back it up and support it. Make your point first. Make your point in one sentence and then back it up. Go on, Zagros. One sentence. Make your point in one sentence.
I don't know how to do it in one sentence.
Trans female are not real females. That's your fucking point. We get that.
No, man, no.
Yeah, this is your point.
All right,
this is not my point.
Let's see where this journey takes us. Okay, let's make it go. Okay? Let's see where, because I suspect we knew where this is going to take us, but he's saying like us we're wrong. Go on. No, go on.
La hawla.
La hawla. Okay.
So I said, look, you may tell me that you don't identify as male or female, but it doesn't change the fact that if we had sex, you would become pregnant. So you are a female. So don't tell me that you are not female or male. What you can tell me is that you choose not to enter into the typical roles of males and females as they apply in society. But, however, because I am your friend and whatever is going on in your head, I will choose to believe that you are not just messing with me. I am willing to act and play along. So that's what I'm saying. I am still.
But I just want to say for that.
Wait. Let him finish. Let him finish.
I think he's done.
No. Let him finish. Let him finish. Because I want to show. No, Zagros, was that your point? Or no, not yet. Finish your point.
Yeah, basically my point is that it is wrong to, by default, give people what they want simply because they identify as a woman, but that it has to be a case by case basis, such that we can assess the situation on a personal level and then choose whether we want to actually trust this person and play along with their imaginary game or not. That's what I'm saying.
So we got you. So we were right about your point from the beginning then.
That's what we did.
Okay, still not my point then. Let's see.
What the hell? We were right from the beginning that was your point. So why are you telling us that you didn't get our point? Oh my God. Okay, this has to be evidence. From now on, we will clip this out. So when people say like, no, let me go through this journey, like and then you will get us.
You are wasting time, Armin. Just
use this as reference for why we keep on butting in, because we understand what you're saying, and these are the points that you have brought against us. Like you're not saying anything new. Like these have been the main points for like past 20 years.
Armin, if you had let me talk, I would have finished like maybe 5 minutes ago.
But why should we have done that when we already knew exactly from the beginning?
Okay. Let's just wrap up this point here. Yeah. I think it's absolutely irrelevant that you say that. Okay, let me set some boundaries. There are no fucking boundaries in individual identity. It just doesn't matter. You don't say that, or someone thinks that, I'm actually a very good-looking woman, or I'm a very good-looking man, and I feel good-looking and sexy. And then you walk up to them and you say, sorry, I'm willing to treat you like with respect and dignity, but let me tell you, you're fucking dog ugly. But just had to set the boundary straight. It doesn't matter. None of these things matter. If someone says, hey, I'm a trans female, your eyes can see, you can see. It just doesn't matter. Okay, all right, ma'am. What do you want me to call? End of story. It's just freaking irrelevant.
Douglas, this goes back. Hold on. You spoke so much. You spoke so much. Now it's our turn. Okay, Douglas, the whole point that we're trying to make is this is a person that is going through a crisis of identity. It's called gender dysphoria. Okay, you know that's scientifically a real thing. Okay, so certain things that are true, I don't know why out of the principle you have to poke at somebody where you know it's their weakest. These people are crushed. These people, imagine you having to wear a clothes that doesn't seem like it fits you for the rest of your life. Okay, and you're stuck with it. It's a prison. They're living in a prison. And when you say you will always be like, oh, okay, I will accept your gender identity, but let me remind you that you are male and you will always be male. You're basically hitting them where it hurts the most. Why would you do that?
And if I have sex with you, we'll make babies. That's why you're a female or a male or whoever the other person. It's just irrelevant, Zagros. Seriously, drop this thing. It means absolutely
it's not
nothing.
irrelevant. Because it has consequences.
What consequences does it have?
When you step on that slippery slope, it has consequences which spill into other domains, like
what?
Like for example,
so we can talk about sports separately, and a lot of people say that they should not be allowed in combat sports.
Yeah, I agree with you, Zagros. I also agree with you that on sports, for example, it's getting ridiculous. But I don't have to go and remind trans people that they will always be male or female for me to stop sports issue. Yeah.
No, the thing though. What's happening with sports is a direct consequence of us.
No, it's actually been overturned. FINA, it's actually been overturned. FINA does not allow trans female to.
That's like Zagros. That's like saying again. This is
happening everywhere.
Let me make an analogy, and because Zagros, because it's an analogy, it's not a straw man. I'm not saying you're saying that. Okay, it's an analogy. That's like saying the Nazis. Okay, the Nazis got their idea from evolution. Okay, well, evolutionary theory. That's like saying we shouldn't teach evolutionary theory because look where Nazis got it. Look where it went, where the Nazis went. Just because something is like in some people it has led to some ridiculous conclusions.
Yes,
that doesn't mean that you have to completely cut it off.
That's a disanalogy because there are no tenets of evolution that actually justifies or supports the ideology of someone like
neither is
trans rights. Neither is trans rights.
Body dysmorphia does not say, okay, from tomorrow I'm going to start competing with females. Okay, that doesn't do that either. You can extract that from it, but that is not the natural conclusion. And you can say, so we understand this, and no matter how much reduction of testosterone do, you still cannot compete in the combat sports or any other physical sports with cis females. Okay, you can say that, and it has happened in FINA, and it's going to happen, and I think it's happening in other combat sports as well.
How about this? How about we compromise, Zagros? We meet in the middle. Okay, you don't need to tell every trans person about their sex. Okay. Every time.
That's not what I said.
But I know. But if you're, I'm saying you could say that if somebody says the opposite, right? If somebody comes and says like, "Oh, I've changed my gender and my sex," then if you want to stand up for your principles and challenge them on that, okay? But you don't need to do it every time you meet. Like if a trans person tells you, like, "Hey, can you accept my new identity?"
That's not what I said either.
You said case by case basis. They have to demonstrate that.
You say out of principle, I will have to tell them that they will always be male. I'm saying you don't need to do that, even if something is true.
No.
You don't
I'm talking about my friends. Like if a random person off a street or during a debate or like some concert or whatever comes and tells me something, like, I'll be like I don't even know you. I don't even know what you're talking about. Like,
okay,
I'm not
to your friends.
Deal with you. Just
I'm saying
move away.
To your friends, even if I'm saying your friends, unless they come and say like, "Hey, I changed my sex, not just my gender," if they didn't say that, you don't need to challenge them on that, even if they're for your friend.
Yes.
Okay, good. We'll meet in the middle.
So the thing that I also do not agree when it comes to women, because definitionally, women is an adult female, typically an adult. Biologically, an animal that has gone through puberty, etc.
We change the definition. We can change the definition. You agree?
Yes,
we can
change the definition. But if we decide that the word woman now has to encompass not only biologically female Homo sapiens, but also Homo sapiens that are biologically male but choose to identify as woman or female, we can agree on such a definitional change. But then we would have to invent a subcategory of the word woman that would be that could only be used to biologically females and not
female. We have that. We have a word. It's called female.
then how do you make the distinction between an adult
Cis
female,
female,
and a child
trans female. We have different categories.
Adult female and child female.
Yeah, so
It's called adult.
when the time comes and we have those
Wait.
properly defined and specified.
How
words
do you
and categories,
have a word for adult Pakistanis? How do you differentiate
adult-
between adult Pakistanis and children Pakistanis?
It depends.
Child
In some
Pakistan.
languages, you actually have those practicalities.
Okay,
But
what
in
do
some
we need?
language we don't,
example,
so it means
in
we don't
my
need it.
Kurdish
What's the
dialect-
don't need
English
it.
word for What's the English word for adult Pakistanis?
What's the English word for horse poop? In my Kurdish dialect, we have one single
Well,
word to
okay.
say horse poop.
Okay, but in English we have survived by not having horse. But we have this English world has.
See,
not
I
been-
agree. We can invent words,
we
and
can
we
survive.
can we can
So we can
We have,
survive.
we have survived without that.
Zagros, you're
if
digging
you-
a hole.
Okay, Zagros, if you really need a word for adult females, go make one. Okay.
Yeah.
If you think like female is not good enough,
that's not even the discussion.
No, but my whole point
you
is
said we have
it's
word for horse
absolutely irrelevant. You said that there could be consequences, and then you gave one example of combat
Haris
sports.
Bey,
and I
it's
said, well, that's not
you
even-
say it's absolutely irrelevant, but you
I
have
reckon
not
it's irrelevant.
formulated one sentence that actually supports how irrelevant you think it is.
I'm
because
just
I'm
telling
telling
you.
you,
I just told
it's
you.
not
I just told you.
irrelevant.
If I gave you many examples. You just are not willing
Haris
to
Bey,
listen.
I
or
can also
accept it.
give you many examples, but you guys don't give enough time.
Can I
See,
finish
because
my
this
point?
is not
Okay.
an isolated
Zagros,
issue.
can I finish my point? Can I
give
finish my
you
point?
enough
Why I
time
said
and
that?
you said it was
Yeah,
finished.
no. Can you finish my point? I said, and I've said it, and I'm repeating here again, and maybe you can watch it again, and maybe I don't know. You don't have to agree with me, but why I'm saying it's irrelevant. It's absolutely irrelevant to set some freaking principles when it comes to people's individualities. Oh, I want to set the record straight. You have this fake arm. It's not a real arm. Oh, I just want to say that you have a freaking dog ugly face, but I'll treat you with respect. Oh, I want to tell you, you actually had a penis and you had your penis cut off and now it's replaced by a vagina. So, okay, I'll call you trans female, but you're not actually a female. You don't need to do any of that. You don't need to do any of that. It has no consequences.
We do need to all of that because not
all of that.
not
So you're gonna tell someone
principles-
your dog ugly face to set the record straight.
No,
You're
no.
gonna say someone.
No, why would I say to anyone that
Exactly.
they have a dog ugly face?
Why would you say that to a female who thinks that she is a female? And as I said, it's a biological condition. But
Because that's a personal truth. And I don't
Guys,
want
I gotta
anybody's
go. We gotta
personal
go.
I
truth
gotta wrap it up.
to infringe
I gotta
on
wrap
my
it up.
personal, on actual truths.
Okay.
We also have 2 super chats that we need to answer, and I have a short.
Actual
coming up.
truth
Guys,
could be you are dog ugly. That could
Oh
be
my
an
God.
actual truth.
That's subjective.
Okay.
That's
we're going,
subjective.
No.
we're going through circle. It's
No,
done. We're done.
that's
We're done.
subjective.
We're done with this conversation. Thank
We
you,
should have
Zagros.
like a very detailed, long conversation about
Nah,
this because
I think it's
I will
boring.
connect this with other issues.
going. I
I
already
just
done
need
it.
more time.
Okay, Zagros. Thank you
But
so much.
anyhow,
Sorry if we.
thanks, guys.
I hope you forgive me if I was
No,
mean
no,
to you. Okay.
bro, I love you guys so much.
Okay.
And for that reason, I want to disagree with you. At the moment, I sense that something doesn't fit in my mind. Like
Okay,
that's what
good.
I'm trying to do. Like
Thank you.
I'm a anyhow. I love you
thank you,
guys.
thank
Have a
All
good
right,
night. Bye bye.
love you back. Okay. All right, guys, we have 2 super chats that we need to answer really quick. Veedu loves that. This is for you. Super chat for you. You want to answer this?
Reading Ibn Shah's 8th century bio of Muhammad, it speaks of him reading and even writing a message. In one part, he says he's a Gentile, and a footnote says the word was misconstrued as illiterate. I think so. Yeah, I think the major controversy around him not being able to read and write actually that was first raised by Ibn Shah, and this is what Tariq Fatah peddles as well. That no, he wasn't an illiterate; he could read and write. But yeah, I can't remember the details now.
Thank you for the £10 pound super chat.
Thank you, stop scamming, man.
Thank you. And I got 100 Danish kroner super chat is saying this is like reminding me. Oh, the conversation that we just had is like reminding me that I was born in Sri Lanka because I look like a dark-skinned Indian, despite me speaking, behaving, and thinking like a Dane because I was adopted to Denmark unnecessarily. Okay. Yes, but no, you're acting like being Sri Lankan is like a bad thing. You're like, how dare you remind like, no, how dare you remind me of that dark past?
No, he has a point. No, he has a point because fair-skinned people would probably make darker-skinned people feel that way. And this is actually very relevant. This is the reason why. This is the reason why. This is exactly what trans females are saying. They're saying, like, why do you have to remind us? Why do you have to remind us that we, in your worldview, that we are broken? We want to tell ourselves that we're not broken. We're not. There's nothing wrong with us. They want. So like human beings, they deserve respect. And you don't need to say, hold up the card that you're freaking dog ugly, you're a fucking man, you're a female. You don't need to do any of that. I just don't get it. It's such a dead issue. It's non-issue. It's a non-issue. Yes, when it has real life consequences, like if you involve them into, like combat sports or swimming okay, fair enough. I'm with you. I'm against that. But if I have a trans friend and she says, say this, use this pronoun, I would try my best, and I would say in advance, look, if it ever slips out of my, and I'm sure every trans person would respect me on that, because they would say he's trying. No. Veedu would be like, no, sorry, no, I'm going to say you're a he. I'm going to say you're a he. Hey.
You know, I suspect a lot of people that have these views, like Veedu and other people, actually, when you remind them of a trans person that they know and love or respect, they actually hold back a little bit. Like I remember in Cologne in Germany, I don't remember exactly what Jimmy said something about what he would or not accept to say to a trans person, and then I said, "Would you say that to her?" And there was like I forgot the trans person that she's a lovely person. I forgot her, but it was at the conference, and like, would you say that to her? And he was like, he had to stop and you had to think about it, okay? Because when actual humans, with the people especially that you know and you respect, you're like, oh, I would tell a trans person this and this and that. And like, what about her? I'm like, it's a little bit like, no, I'm not going to compare them to.
Do it.
No,
it's kind of like it's kind of like when Muslims say, like, I would I'm not complaining, I'm not comparing Jimmy to that, okay? This is very far off.
Do it.
But it reminds me of when Muslims say that ex-Muslims deserve to be executed for leaving Islam, and they're like, what about your son, or what about this guy? I'm like, no, not him. I'm like, you have to think about it. They hold back. They do like, yeah. So it's a little bit like that, because
it is like that.
It's basically
when people put personal relationship into perspective, then they realize, okay, like there's so many people who end up accepting their homosexual children when they have a child who turns out to be a homosexual. That's when they're like, oh, their attitude changes towards it. But before that, when it's someone else's son, oh yeah, that's horrible. Oh, that's why Jesus told us don't do this. Like, it's like, seriously, guys, just give them. This world is already so messed up, and there's so much trouble. And just, what are you going to get out of that by hurting someone, by telling them, hey, you?
Let me actually say something that would agree with people like Jimmy and Veedu, okay? Because the reason why this whole thing is crashing down and everything is because of certain trans rights activists, okay? They have turned trans acceptance into a weapon, into see how much they could make people bend the knee and twist reality and make them say things that are absolutely ridiculous as a way to show how much power they have, okay? For those trans activists, this is not about accepting trans people. And the main victims of that kind of activism are trans people, because they are using trans people's movement. This was like, we went through women's rights, gay rights, this was trans people's turns. And they are weaponizing it as a way to see how much they could make people dance to their tunes. And because of that, a lot of people are turning their frustration with these trans rights activists. They're taking that frustration on trans people themselves. So what was supposed to turn into acceptance of trans people is now turning into hatred of trans people.
Can I just say, just a small clarification? Like, when we're like, sorry, this camera, when we see these trans activists and they insist upon changing definitions, and it's a power game for them. Okay, this is a power game. How far can I take you on this thing? How much can I make you squeal and make you say something that in front of your eyes, is a man, but no, it's a woman. Toilets, all the sports, all this kind of stuff. They are pushing the boundaries, and I've never held, or Jimmy, I know for a fact, and you know this as well, any hatred or any dislike for any trans person ever. It's not even about people. When we disagree about definitions, it's about definitions. It's not about people. So if you think, oh, he's like, and that's the thing. If you don't agree with my definitions, you must be a transphobe. No, not really. I just don't agree with definitions. I'm not going to go to every trans person. You're a man. No one's got time or interest for that. But
Yeah,
it's a disagreement about definitions, not about.
I get it, but my point is, why can't we talk about this? Yeah, why can't we talk about those specific issues like toilets or combat sports or something, rather than why do we always start from like people who are critical of this whole movement or whatever? Why do we have to start from? I have to tell you that you're a male. Why do we have to
that
start
would only come up if someone insisted that they were.
Yeah, sure.
Well,
I agree.
Otherwise, no, I don't care. I don't care.
I agree. Guys, I'm going to go to Atheist Republic YouTube channel with Susanna and cover the news. So come over there and make sure you subscribe to Harris Sultan's YouTube channel and Veedu's YouTube channel as well. And this was great. This was a lot of fun. That's why we keep going, even though we're supposed to fit it in 2 hours. And yeah, guys, see you again next week. Bye.
Bye-bye.